We'll
Rick,
have
it's on you, bro.
all right. I'll intro and then we'll go down. Shit, we got a list of who goes in what order.
Let's make it up right now.
I
All
think we
right,
live right now.
We're live.
all right, we live.
We are live.
Popcorn it to whoever's talking next.
All right, we'll go with that. All right, third installment A.C.B.A. live show. We're on. Boog.
Officially back at it. What's up, man? This is Bug Nice. Here, feeling nice after Thanksgiving. What's up, y'all?
What's up,
What's
Fabio?
going on, guys?
Oh, it's Pharaoh Black as always. No more, no less.
I'm Emiya Starlock, just a collector.
Here he goes. All right, let's jump into the topics. We started a little late. I'm sure it's not a problem. Let's talk about the biggest news of this week. What everybody's talking about, the Civil War trailer. Boog, what are you thinking of the Civil War trailer?
Civil War trailer looked amazing, man. I thought it looked dope as hell. Obviously, everybody was geeking out over the last scene with Iron Man getting double team paused by Cap and Winter Soldier. So that looked crazy. Everybody was talking about Black Panther outrunning Cap. I'm sure we'll see a on your left joke when we actually see the movie. But I thought it looked amazing. I thought it looked better than the Batman versus Superman trailer. I can't even remember the Batman versus Superman trailer. I had said that up in plastic and paint. I don't even remember what was on that trailer, but I thought it looked dope as hell, man. I'm excited for the movie. I'm excited for what they're gonna do. I love the Winter Soldier movie. Like I've said many times, I think that's the best Marvel movie to date. That might be the best comic book movie of all time, really. I think Winter Soldier was just phenomenal. Everything was on point. So if they continue on that trend, then this movie should be amazing, man. I'm really excited for this movie. So I thought it looked dope.
I gotta agree, man. It was a good looking trailer, and the way it lit up the page with everyone trying to replicate that last scene, everyone was posting those shots. You know that it made a big impact on everyone, and Winter Soldier's definitely up there for one of my favorite movies too. I think I like the Iron Man one, still one of the best of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. With Avengers 2, even though a lot of people didn't really like it, I thought it kind of provided a little bit of more of the superhero flavor that we're looking for in those movies. It's like a superhero movie, but Winter Soldier is definitely like one of the most well-rounded flicks of the entire MCU, and it's the same guys directing this next one. And right off the bat, you can tell in the trailer that it's got that same feel, that kind of like that spy movie sort of feel, and man, I'm so excited for it. There's some good-looking scenes in that. CGI looks great. Great cast of characters. Black Panther, like there's 3 glimpses of him in the trailer. Everyone's just fired up on Black Panther. So I'm excited to see what's next for the MCU, and I mean, I'm a big fan of the television shows as well, and we'll talk about that soon. But I'm excited to see how they tie in all the television and movie content that they've come up with. Let's hear it, Pharaoh.
Um, I definitely like the trailer. I have to agree with Boog. I think Captain America: The Winter Soldier is probably it's my favorite Marvel movie. Definitely, I've probably seen it maybe at least like 40 times, easy. So I mean, yeah, I was really excited, and like you said, the part where they were beating the hell out of Iron Man, that's not even double teaming. They was just beating the shit out of him, So I mean, that was pretty. That's what really had me. Black Panther. I'm glad to see him introduced into the Marvel universe. But I mean, I, that's not what did it for me. It's always about the action for me, not the character content. So you know. Oh, and I do remember Batman versus Superman trailer, and that trailer was hot. So fuck what Boog was just talking about the trailer, whatever. I'm not fucking with him with Batman and that shit.
Oh man. Um, I thought the Batman versus Superman trailer was good, but on to Civil War. I thought it did exactly what the trailer needed to. There was a lot of people crying. Where's Spider-Man? Where's Ant-Man? Where's Vision? We know all three are in the film. Where are they at? And I think, something's got to be left to surprise. We can't see it all in a first initial trailer, and it seemed like that's what a lot of people wanted. There was people out there, looking for little specks of people with a red shirt, and they're like, "Oh, that's Peter," and I thought it was perfect. We got a fair amount of action, and at the same time we got a lot of emotion. It's one of the biggest things that people are quoting right now, hearing Cap and Iron Man have that exchange, that whole oh, he's my friend, but I thought I was your friend, and it's setting up for it really well. I love what they did with Black Panther. They didn't have Black Panther on screen and just have him getting punched in the face. He was outrunning these dudes. He was kicking the shit out of Bucky from the looks of it, which Cap wasn't even able to do. Right off the gate, we had Black Panther coming in and just giving him, the Rick James kick, and it was just sick. I like the look. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of the silver. They want the gold. I as well would have preferred the gold, but I'm not gonna complain over silver or gold. I just thought it was great, and I can't wait to see this in Batman versus Superman. It's gonna be pretty crazy to have them both come out so close together, and I can't wait. Keiyo?
I thought the trailer was definitely very interesting. The big question for a lot of people going in was how they were going to set up Civil War, at least plot-wise. Obviously, you can't do it like the comics because there's simply not enough characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to do something like that. So it was good to see more details of how the plot was going to be done. Definitely setting up to be a definitely more emotional story, since it's basically a conflict among the heroes. My question really right now is really how they're going to resolve it, and if all the situation in this film, the conflicts that arise, will be settled by the end of the film. Looks like it probably will be, because they, already, with Phase 3, we already have like a lot of stuff going in. Other things that are supposed to happen, so this will definitely have to be resolved by the end, I think. But it was definitely very action packed. I know see a lot of people about the Black Panther with the silver. To be honest, I don't think that's a big deal, only because they changed the look of these characters to sell new toys, new figures every single movie. So I think eventually, if people don't like how the costume looks, or they don't like how whatever looks, it's all gonna be done. It's all gonna eventually get the look that you want, in later installments. So, but definitely really looking forward to it. Russo brothers have done a great job with Winter Soldier, and I'm really looking forward to their follow up to that. So yeah.
All right. Now we all shared our thoughts on the trailer. Let's move on to another part of the MCU. I know last week I wasn't here for it, but we were talking a little bit about Jessica Jones, and by now most of us have watched a little bit more of it, and I want to hear what people think about Jessica Jones, and then the little news and tidbits we got about Iron Fist and how we're gonna get the reveal soon, and how we think he should fit into this universe. Book.
So yeah, I got to finish off Jessica Jones, man. I thought the show was really, really good. A few little minor gripes that I had, and I don't know if it's really worth mentioning. I mean, I guess I could just kind of wish the budget was a little bigger. I thought just like a few minor little special effects was kind of sus, but I think that the writing and the script and just how it was really like a mind fuck and just psychological was kind of what took it over the top, and what actually supplemented for the fact that some of the effects were a little sus. But I thought it was great. I watched the whole entire thing. I thought Purple Man was an amazing villain. I thought he was genuinely a scary villain, and definitely somebody that was seemingly I guess unstoppable. and I thought that the chick that plays Jessica Jones, pardon me, I can't remember her name right now, but I thought that she was great in her role. I thought she did a really good job. I thought all of the supporting cast was good. I thought the dude that played Luke Cage was good, and I felt like at the beginning um, I wasn't gonna be feeling him in that role. I know a lot of people was campaigning for like, Terry Crews and like different people, but now looking at him in the role, I think Emiya had mentioned this before, that I don't think anybody else could have pulled it off. I think he did an excellent job, and I'm looking forward to that show as well. I don't want to give away any spoilers really, but I thought the show was good, and if you haven't watched it beginning to end, then you definitely should. So I thought it was great, man.
All right, well, this week I finally got my janky ass internet connection fixed, so I got to watching most of the show. I'm about 3 episodes from the end. I'm at the point where Luke's bar blows up and he comes out all on fire and stuff. Really badass scene, but a couple minor complaints about the show so far. You guys did mention last week that it does sort of drag in the middle, and I think I'm at that point in the middle, or was just at that point where it was dragging, so I did sort of lose interest in the middle, and I was just kind of tuning it out as far as a lot of the dialogue. But I think the feel of the show is great. Kilgrave is a freaking awesome villain, man. He is scary, and that scene with his parents when they're finally reunited, that is a harrowing scene, man. That was tough to watch. And Kristen Ritter is really great in the role. I have to agree, man. She's got that like damaged. I don't know, man. She's got this damaged look about her that just really fits the character, and you could tell that. I mean, she's a hard-drinking, hard-boiled, PI essentially, and some of the effects, like you were mentioning, Boog, yeah, are a little hokey. The budget does seem a little low at times. Like there's that one time when Officer Simpson throws himself from the roof or whatever, and the next scene it just kind of cuts, and it very obviously looks like they just came from the side of the frame and landed on some trash cans or trash bags or whatever. It doesn't look like they just took a big ass drop at all. So I kind of was like, what just happened there? And that did take me out of it. But overall, it's been a good ride, man. It's a really good show. Compared to Daredevil so far, I want to say they're probably on par. There are elements of Jessica Jones that are a little more to my taste, just because it's more like psychological thriller and a little horror at times. So I like that a lot. Overall, it's a great show, man. Like you got to watch it. It's good. Everyone's talking about it, and you need to be part of the conversation because it's a great show.
Yo, real quick, the other thing I was gonna say too about the effects was I felt like they did a pretty decent job displaying everybody's power set, but I felt like they dumbed down her powers and Luke's powers a bit too, though. Like, I felt like the super strength aspect of it all should have been a little more sensational. There was some scenes. It's like for instance, in Captain America: Winter Soldier, when you saw Captain America putting the beats on motherfuckers, like it was evident that he was not a normal, human as far as strength is concerned. And in some scenes, obviously, it was evident in Jessica Jones, but I think they could have took it a little bit more over the top with their strength, with their power sets, though. Yeah, that was the only other thing I want to say, though. Pharaoh's on you, bro.
Um, I like the grittiness of the show. Um, like I said last week, it drags a bit. I do like the way that Kilgrave, like some of the shit that they have him do to people. I would have, it's freaky. I mean, just some of the shit you would like. What would make you think of certain shit? I mean, having somebody grin for hours or jump up and down, just some crazy shit. So I mean, I enjoy him a lot. I have to agree. The chick playing Jessica Jones, she looks like she's damaged, so that comes over well or whatever. But I think Cage is he's a little square at times for me. I mean, I don't want him to fall into the stereotypical black dude, how Hollywood does, bald head, goatee, that's a tough dude or whatever. But I mean, he's just sometimes I just don't see him being tough. And as far as but I wouldn't change him. He does do a good job as Cage for the most part. I don't think Terry Crews could have pulled it off. Terry Crews is just, I see a big dude, but he's soft as fuck. So I mean, I just don't see him doing it. So I mean, the show's pretty decent. As far as you guys are talking about with the special effects, quickly, um, I don't mind I don't know what you corner cutting, I guess you would say. I mean, because you realize it's a Netflix show. I mean, it's the first time. I mean, you're really doing a bunch of experiments right now. These are hit or miss shows or whatever. Jessica Jones. I mean, who in the fuck would ever care about Jessica Jones in mainstream television? So they gave us a show. I think they did pretty well with it. So you know, it is what it is.
All right. I wasn't here last week, so now I can finally share my thoughts on the show. Um, Man, that show is just so good. I watched Daredevil and I thought to myself, man, this is gonna be hard to put a character like Jessica Jones and live up to what this show is. But if anything, for me, just my opinion, I think it surpassed it. For me, it surpassed Daredevil, and the connection that you get with a villain like Kilgrave, with the way that they did him, was just for me much greater than what I got for Kingpin, and it was much more drama heavy, and I just loved what they did, like most people, I heard about this guy, what was his name, Mike Coulter, that was done to play Luke, and I just thought to myself, like, man, like everyone else, I had my dream dude to play Luke, and I thought to myself, oh man, it's not Rampage. That's who I wanted. I wanted Rampage Jackson, and I was like, oh man, this sucks. And then I saw him on screen, and now it's hard to imagine anybody else as as Luke, because he did such a good job. And I love the way that he compliments the actress. He's not too over the top, with somebody like Luke Cage, when you see him on the comics, some guy that just yells "Sweet Christmas" at random, which was nice to see him actually do on the screen. He'd only done it like a couple of times, and it was perfectly inserted. Back to who I thought was the star, other than Jessica, of course, to the series was Kilgrave, and to me, just the first villain that we've ever had in the cinematic universe to ever make me afraid. You see people like Winter Soldier, uh, Ultron, Loki, Ironmonger. The list goes on of all these villains. Yellow Jacket, and yeah, they're cool, but you never really have a sense of fear with these guys. They're just cool to see. They're people that you've read about, and you want to see them on the screen, but you're never like, oh man, like this is a sick bastard. And that's what you do with Kilgrave. At first you're introduced to this character, and Jessica imagines all these things in her head. She just thinks, this guy is sadistic, he has a huge plan laid out for me. And then you start to get to know Kilgrave more, and you start to see that it's even scarier to know just how little Kilgrave had planned for Jessica, and just how petty he could be with his actions, and just how emotional and just how quick he was to do what he did.
Yeah.
You were meant to think, oh man, Kilgrave is this methodical, crazy, well thought out dude, but then you see Kilgrave, and if you could imagine, it's even worse that he's not like that, because he's just so ridiculously petty, and he's just so fucked up.
Childish.
Yeah,
Childish.
childish. Somebody with that sort of personality, with those powers, it's even scarier. And seeing him on screen was just sick. And David Tennant was the perfect casting for the character. It's like they told him, go on screen, do the Doctor, but more sadistic, and they're like, oh, okay, there you go.
I
And
think it was interesting how they sorry to cut you off, Rick, but I think it was
oh no,
interesting
go
how
for
they
it.
introduced his parents into the mix to really show, how long he's kind of been in that fucked up mental state. Like, he never really grew up. He's pretty much just been getting what he wanted since a kid, and that's why he still kind of has that mentality. It was really like a lot of psychological things with the show, and I wouldn't be surprised if the people who wrote the show and put the show together had somebody that they can consult with that was a psychologist, or had some type of degree in that field, or some type of expertise in that field, because a lot of this was just real, like, crazy psychological stuff, man. So I thought it was
That's
dope
what
because of that too.
that's what makes a great villain, though. The fact that I mean, most villains, some of the best, are actually very childish. What they want and their aspirations are very petty. Loki. I don't care. Even if you look at a classic rivalry, not talking about getting to the Bible, it's just like the devil. Anything, all that shit is just petty. It's just like a whiny child that can't get his way. So
Yeah, I mean,
And
even with the most iconic, one of the most iconic villains in film history now at this point, Heath Ledger's portrayal of the Joker. He had no reason to do what he did. That was even more horrifying. He had no reason. He just, as Alfred, famously said, he just wanted to watch the world burn. And it's crazy to see people with this sort of mentality and with these powers that they do end up having, just having those crazy reasons or not having any reason at all, other than just emotion and whatever the fuck they want to do.
reminds me of some of the people who got kicked out of the group.
Jesus. Oh, man.
Yeah, what you think, Emiya? Still sleeping.
Oh, man.
He's a collector.
I'm just a collector. I don't have any opinions on it.
You dressing a doll over there. No, I said,
Oh,
what you think?
yeah, it's my turn. Anyway, about Jessica Jones. Like I said, David Tennant, his performance, incredible. What I found very interesting, one of the very interesting things about the show for people who watched it all. This is not really a spoiler. Well, I guess this is a spoiler, but it's not really a spoiler. Is that in the beginning we kind of follow Jessica with how how she sees Kilgrave throughout the series. At the beginning, she's very scared of him, and the audience is very scared. And as we find out more about Kilgrave, us as the audience and Jessica, we go from scared to just being pissed off at him. That's one of the very interesting things about the roller coaster ride of Kilgrave throughout the series. Like I said, Jessica starts off very terrified of Kilgrave, and as time goes on, it's just more that fear just becomes she's just very angry, and then just to the point where she just wants to kill him by the end. I think the audience kind of feels the same way. You kind of take this journey with her, and we go through all the emotions that she kind of goes through. That's one of the nice things about the series, at least for me. As I said last week, it is very nice to see a superhero show. This is the type of thing that you would do in a show because it's very character driven. It's not very action based. It's a very drama heavy show, and it's nice to see it be able to do that, and the audience, it resonates with the audience, and people seem to like it a lot. So we can get more. It's very, like I said, it's a very adult superhero show. Well, not really even a superhero. This takes place in the superhero universe, but it does have all those ideas of heroism, what it means to be a hero, at least in that very real life way. Doing something for someone and then feeling good about it, and having a reason, to want to continue. I think that those were some really great things about the show, and yeah. I mean, there's not really much I can say except for watch it. It's worth it.
Yeah, and I mean, now that I have you on, all of us kind of glazed over it, but just earlier this week, we were told that we were going to have Iron Fist be announced pretty soon, and what his role is going to be. Is it going to be a film? Is he just going to be introduced through Defenders? And I can't wait to see how they do him, and it's gonna be great to have him on. We'll see if he was a part of Luke's past or if he's just a new part of everyone's future, because I know a lot of people are wondering where he's gonna fit in and how he's gonna be introduced.
Iron Fist. I mean, theoretically speaking, I think it would be a very good idea to put him in the show, like maybe introduce him, like how you kind of do with other stuff, maybe introduce him in the Luke Cage show. We maybe see a glimpse of him. Would be a nice transition because those two characters are they're synonymous with each other in fiction, in the comics and stuff, and guys love to have them together, and they're like one of the original like pairs.
I'm curious to see how they're gonna actually bring them together though, because the fact that they didn't have any, that we know of, any history so far in the show, I'm curious to see how they're gonna bring them together, but. I'm interested in seeing. I'm interested in seeing what they do when they take the when Luke Cage gets his show and they take it up to Harlem and do some different things. Pharaoh made a good point though about the dude still being a little a little soft, a little bit. Like I felt like he should have more of a hard edge, and at this particular point, I don't feel like they're gonna like change his character that much when they move on to the next show. So I don't know, but again, I still think he did a decent job. But yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with
Great job.
Danny Rand.
Oh, for sure.
Now, I've heard that there was a glimpse of Iron Fist in Jessica Jones already. It was in it was some random walking and talking scene. It's two people, I can't remember who, it was this article I saw online. Could be pure speculation, but it's two people walking down a hallway, and in between them, it's the two of them talking, face to face, and as they're walking away, you see someone emerge from a door of the apartment hallway, and you see him pull out what looks like a yellow mask or yellow hood or something, and he throws it on his head, and he walks out of the frame, out of the hallway. So there's a lot of speculation that is Iron Fist, and they're gonna like Pulp Fiction his show with Jessica Jones, like they're occurring at the same time, and they're gonna cross paths and then intertwine.
Oh wow, I've not seen that article, but that sounds pretty.
Yeah,
crazy.
I didn't hear that either. I watched this this dude on YouTube, Mr. Sunday Reviews. I don't know if you watched that guy, but he had like a little Easter egg video. And there's another dude. What the hell is this other guy's name? Well, Comics Explained had one too. There was three that I watched actually. Comics Explained had like a little Easter egg thing, and damn, what the hell is this other guy's name? I can't even remember. We actually posted to the fan page sometimes. But he had he seemed like he was echoing the same thing that Mr. Sunday Reviews was saying anyway. But yeah, I definitely didn't hear anything about the Iron Fist Easter egg, so that's interesting.
I want to know if they're going to make it actually mystical. Like, I want to know if, like, are they going to try to make it more scientific with Iron Fist, or are they going to actually make it some type of magical, mystical shit or whatever? I mean,
he's some mysticism Daredevil with Stick and his friend. I think his name's Stone, right? So there was some sort of mystical element about them that I think was hinted at. But it'd be interesting to see if they do expand it more. I mean, now that we have Doctor Strange coming out, it does open up the mystical realms of the MCU. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they do something mystical.
How far does the TV show? I mean, I heard them reference shit in Jessica Jones, but I mean, does it really stretch out into the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Like, are they really, like, for instance, are they really going to put this Daredevil from the show in a movie with the rest of
like in or something? It depends. I don't know. They have the actors contracted for a certain amount of time, and maybe that includes a movie deal or something. But I think for the most part, contracted on the basis that like open to perhaps appear in these movies or cross over into other shows and whatnot.
Well, yeah, I asked because like last week when we were talking about S.H.I.E.L.D., just like for that aspect, none of these characters from these shows are being put in any of these movies at all. Like at all. So that's why I was wondering.
Well, there is connection. If you're asking about that, there is definitely connection. If you watch to the end of Jessica Jones, there is strong connection to Daredevil. So yeah, those in that sense are connected. And again, the movies are referenced just by talking, and some of the repercussions of some of the things that happened in the movies are also explored in Jessica Jones as well. So there is some connection there.
Yeah, and especially, because I know a lot of you guys here, you guys weren't a fan of the first season, and because of that you guys stopped, which you shouldn't have in my opinion, but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., guys, it connects a lot to the films. What happens in Age of Ultron is all because of what Coulson and his team does on the show. How they find the base, everything like that, it connects a lot. And not just that, but right now, Fabio said, I think in the first episode too, I think he's the only other person that's currently watching, that the show is pretty much right now at this point, the show of people with powers at this point. It's the Inhumans show. It's nothing but people with powers right now.
Yeah, I've been watching it.
The thing that they've been connecting recently is that the new villain, remember I told you last week that Hydra is this ancient cult, and only a certain people know the true origins of Hydra and what their true intention is, and one of them was revealed to be what was his name, Gideon Malik, played by Powers Booth. He was one of the guys on the Security Council that sent that missile to New York, which was, in retrospect, if you think about him actually being Hydra this whole time, he was really sending that missile to wipe out the Avengers and New York and the aliens in the process. But he's one of the big bads of this season right now, and he's the one who just incarcerated that Lash guy, the evil Inhuman that was killing the other guys. He put him in a cell bound for that Inhuman that's been banished to another world as like a servant to his army. He's like the next tribute. So that's interesting how they tied him in from the movie. And I think he was in Winter Soldier as well in one of like the hologram scenes where the Security Council's meeting.
Yeah, everyone is speculating right now who that person or creature or whatever it may be being on that planet that they've visited on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is. There's a lot of people saying, it's Lady Death. There's a lot of people saying the people are saying it's a lot of things, and they're connecting pretty well, I think. If you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and you watch everything else, like Emiya said, towards the end of Daredevil, the end of Jessica Jones, we do see the connection to Daredevil, and I'm liking what they're doing, and I hope they continue with this trend, especially with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because it's getting really good.
My only thing with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is that I just can't get what it's kind of fucking corny to me, man. It's just kind of like cheesy in a way because it's on a network show, because it's on a network. I don't know, man. I guess I gotta take you guys' word for it that it's gotten better, but I tried to stomach it the first couple of episodes, but I just couldn't.
Oh yeah, that is for
it
sure.
actually
Book.
got
It is.
better.
It's to me it's grown a lot from the first season, at least just in my opinion.
It's gotten more interesting, but it hasn't actually gotten better. You know what I mean? Like it's more for you to watch. You get to see more. Like he was talking about Blair Underwood as Lash, and you get to see certain other aspects. Like, okay, that's kind of cool. But then you got these agents I don't know Rick. Who's the chick with the big teeth? That's always with the two sticks.
Oh, that's what's her name?
Mockingbird.
Okay.
Mockingbird.
Okay, but she's so fucking corny, man.
Bobby.
Her fighting, just the choreography. It's just.
Hey man,
horrible.
she was gonna be Wonder Woman, and now she's
She was,
Rocky. Yeah, she was gonna be Wonder Woman.
Did you see that pilot?
That's terrible. It's trash, but.
Come on, man. That shit,
You're talking to the remake of Red Dawn. She has pedigree. The remake of Red Dawn.
I think she's good. I don't find them as corny. I take them for what they are, and especially when I look at season 1 and I see season 2 and now season 3, I'm like, damn, dude, they really stepped it up because I thought season 1 was terrible, the first half of it. And as soon as they started connecting the universes, I thought that they were upped with what they needed to do, and to each their own. But I recommend anybody who watches these films to watch it, because in my opinion, you're not experiencing the universe in the way it's supposed to be experienced if you're not watching it all, because a lot does connect, and at this point, a lot of people are asking questions of are we even gonna get an Inhumans movie, because everything is on the show, and it was taken off the roster.
Before we move on, I just want to say this. I agree with you that a lot of the events, you're right, they do connect. So I watched the show. I've never stopped watching the show. As bad as the show as I think it is, I still watch the show. But I'm just saying, I don't know. When I see what's the dude named Ward and Agent May, and these people are supposed to be on par with the Black Widow, and I'm looking at them fight, then I watch a movie, you see the Black Widow beating people ass. I'm saying, are you really it's hard? It's a hard sell for me, man. It's just hard to get me to say. Yeah, that dude right there.
They just don't have the budget
he's
for
a
that.
beast. He's not a beast. He's just. I can see him in Lee or something, man. It's just I don't know. They don't sell it for me, man.
It's one of the sacrifices of having it on a network show. Yeah, it's run by ABC, which is run by Disney, so it has certain standards. But as far as it has to have this diverse cast. It can't just be like the Coulson show. I kind of wish it was, and maybe it's Coulson and a couple of people. But that's just one of the sacrifices of it, and it's the same like when you watch Flash or Gotham or what's the other one, Arrow. There's that CW melodrama that you have to sit through, and I hate it.
Definitely.
You do it, get those of King Shark and those glimpses of Gorilla Grodd and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and to touch on that too, I love Flash and Arrow, and I think Gotham's all right. I'm more so watching still just because I hear this Court of Owls coming, so I just want to watch that at this point.
Oh,
But the thing that
oh,
like I said earlier that's really special about Agents of Shield is just it does it it shows you a lot of the universe, and just like Pharaoh said, I do see why people find it cheesy, and people don't really like the characters too much. I totally see why. But I do again recommend everyone, if you like this cinematic universe enough, you got to watch the show because you're missing a lot. Cheesy or not, bad or not, there is a lot that's going to be missed when you're not watching the
it's
show.
it's
Man, fuck these shows, man. What else we got to talk about, man?
All right, let's move on to the next topic. All right, let's move on to the next topic. A.C.B.A. tournament round 2. Thoughts? What do we think? What are we liking? What are we hating? Boog, go.
Yo, man, I gotta yo, I didn't watch no videos yet, man. I'm sorry, man.
Oh my god.
I have nothing
Of
to
all
say.
people, of all people.
Yo, this
Hey, you
week,
know what? Got to even cut him off. This comes from the dude that's constantly texting me talking about what's going on with your scores.
yo, man, I this week was mad busy with other ACBA stuff, and I literally just got my plate cleared a little bit tonight, so that way first thing tomorrow morning I could watch the videos. But I didn't want to. I wanted to be able to sit and watch everything all the way through, and I didn't want to I didn't want to half-ass it. So I just been busy with other stuff. We just launched another round of cutouts, and different things have just been happening for ACB. We're working on a couple of projects behind the scenes right now that's taking a lot of time and a lot of energy, so I didn't get a chance. But I will say, for anybody that's watching that's in the tournament, we still actually not far from being finished with the grading. Myself and I think maybe Pharaoh, I guess we lagging a little bit, but I mean it's only 39 videos, I guess, to
I'm
grade
done.
this time.
Pharaoh's not lagging. Speak for yourself.
All right. All right, so yeah, man, I'm gonna pass it off to the next person.
Well, I'll speak quickly. I
Do it.
think that I was a little disappointed with this round. Not because people didn't put in a good effort, because some of the displays are really really nice, and some of the video effects have really stepped up. But the creativity department is lacking. I'm tired of seeing Ultron. I'm tired of seeing 6 or 7, 8, 10 Ultrons. I'm tired of seeing. I mean, it's the same shit though, and I think that it's mostly because a lot of these people are limited by their collections, so they really don't have a lot to use outside of Marvel Legends or maybe a certain type of Marvel Legend or whatever else. So that's what really disappointed me with this round. But I mean, I'm still glad to see these guys are actually taking it seriously and really trying to step up their game. Because compared to some of the last couple tournaments, some of the videos, man, these guys are would all be winners. So I mean, still proud of you guys, man. Just change it up a little bit, man. I'm tired of seeing Bullseye and Ultron and Spider-Man. Just saying.
Well, as a participant, I'm free from that criticism, so hopefully you're my highest score next round too. But I think, from what I've seen, I haven't gotten a chance to watch all the videos. It's a lot. I mean, I watched a good portion of round 1, but definitely not all of them. And in this round, there's less videos, but yeah, it does take some time. From what I've seen, though, like you said, everyone has stepped up their game, man. Everyone knows what it takes to put a good display together for round 2, and what the judges are really looking for, and I gotta agree with you a little bit about creativity. I mean, we do see a lot of Marvel Legend. That's just kind of the nature of A.C.B.A. It's just one of the most popular lines used. I think one of the things I noticed is that some people took the theme in different ways. Some people really used it to tell a story, and other people used it to display their favorite story, if that makes sense, like the favorite universe that they like to inhabit or whatever. I interpret it as a theme as we're using the display to tell a story, and I think I accomplished that. I was initially a little nervous. Everyone's probably, or maybe you guys, Boog, definitely not you, but in my display I did RoboCop vs. Terminator, and I used actual narration cutouts from basically all over the book,
The
definitely
video
not in order,
sucked.
the order that I put them in. But I pieced them together in a way that told a little story that kind of encompassed the entire feel of what I was going for. And initially I was nervous because I was like, fuck, I don't know if people are just gonna like want to read this fucking video. That's shitty. I know I have friends that don't watch foreign movies because they hate reading subtitles. It's kind of the same thing. But I think I executed the theme in a way that makes sense, and I think the story I told was interesting and unique enough that it definitely. I hope it caught your attention and made you say like, "Whoa, what the fuck, RoboCop vs. Terminator? What's this all about?" So that was something I was going for. I wanted to. Boog, you mentioned before how how people sort of stick to the same thing that they post on the page and then do it on the tournament. I'm a little guilty of that. I've done RoboCop and I've done Terminator tons of times in the past, but I've never put them together in this way with these figures and this style of display, like a storytelling, narration-based display. So it's definitely breaking new ground for me, and I love coming out of the comfort zone to put together something new for this round. And I hope the execution was like eye-catching and cool enough that makes you say like, wow, okay, yeah, this is some cool shit. So that was what I hope to accomplish.
Some of the chatter that I heard, even though I haven't really watched anything, was that I heard quite a few people say that they didn't think that a lot of people understood the theme. So I'm not sure how that's going to affect scoring or how it might affect my scoring once I start, going through everything. But I mean, the idea with any theme that we put forward is kind of to give you a roundabout, just give you the basis for whatever it is. We don't want to kind of limit anybody's creativity. It's for you to have a basic idea and for you to think totally outside the box and present it the best way that you know how. But there are some occasions where people still kind of stray completely out of the way and go completely left. So I mean, I'm hoping that's not what it is, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Some of those, I'm gonna say some of the videos though, I think were, as far as storytelling, was really good. I mean, I'm big on the emotion thing anyway, and a lot of the videos really told a great story without having to point you in the real direction of what's going on. So I did enjoy that aspect of everything.
Yeah, I'd only watched a couple of videos, and I thought kind of like Pharaoh. I didn't think that they were bad or anything like that. Like I never saw it, and I thought to myself, "Oh man, how did this person make it to round two?" But I did think, again, it's hard to not notice, like like damn, dude, AIM soldiers again, like Hydra soldiers again, Ultron again, you know. But I'm not gonna hold that against them, but it's something that I do need to mention. But I thought it was good work. Definitely shows that it's round two, for sure, because you don't see anything that doesn't feel like it doesn't need to be there or shouldn't be there. Thankfully, from what I've seen so far, I could be where there could be like two or three stinkers for all I know, but I've just not seen them. So yeah, I thought it was a solid round. Hopefully, the next coming rounds, they use different figures because I'm sick of seeing the same ones. But hard to do, when that's the main line. But overall good. Emiya, what did you think? Hmm?
To be honest, I haven't really looked at much. From what I see, it's like
Knew it. I knew it. I knew you weren't gonna do it.
So yeah, but I mean, from what I've seen so far, I haven't really been, like I said, I only really watched the entries of like friends and stuff like that. They're doing a good job. I do agree that that's just in general. You're gonna see repetitiveness, the same figures, the same theme. But the Ultrons and Spider-Man, I mean, those things are always on the page. So I mean, it's gonna, of course, that's gonna transfer over to the tournament as well. But I mean, that's what people collect. Those are the figures, and Marvel Legends is as far as A.C.B.A. is concerned, it's pretty much the main line. It's what more or less created the group. So I mean, it's kind of hard to. It can be repetitive at the same time. You have to look at it as, okay, well, that's just what it's going to be. So hopefully, in coming years, as the community gets bigger, we could see more topics, and of course, number one thing being more access, being guys have more money to buy other figures. They can step up and have more other topics and other types of figures and stuff like that as time goes on.
Well, it's kind of up to us to kind of expose people to different things and just kind of expand people's horizons and say, hey, listen, Hasbro's not the only people putting out figures, and Hasbro definitely is not the company putting out the best figures right now. It's just kind of they just kind of in a nice niche, they're in a nice lane as far as Marvel being very popular and them being able to give us a wide variety of characters from the same universe, but like as far as just displaying goes and really nice, well-made, super articulated figures, like it's a ton of things out there. Just expand your horizons, just
Well, I think a lot of it also, I mean, the fact of the matter is, Marvel Legends is a lower end line, and it's something that's easily accessible to many people. I mean, I think it's the transition of you have $20 action figures, $25 action figures, and suddenly, you start seeing, your more higher mid-end stuff, and you're like, wow, $50 a figure, $60, $75 a figure. It might be hard for some younger, especially the younger crowd, to swallow that you don't have jobs and stuff like that. But that's why I say in the next couple of years, as they, as the audience grows up, more people have money, more people become more accustomed to understanding that, these figures are your, $20 figures are more in the low end, not low end in a bad way, but lower end as far as price point goes. And then you have your, they start to understand that there are also higher end options available, and people are more accustomed to paying those prices, more educated, knowing the difference of why these figures are this much and why these figures are that much.
I agree with you to a certain extent, because I mean, young people today are still spending exuberant amount of money on dumb shit. I mean, it's still $200 sneakers out there and stuff like that. And somebody who's in the market for $200 sneakers is not going to buy $20 sneakers. So think about it like that. I think young people are spending money, and they have money, but they just need to be educated about what's out there. And that's kind of
it's like I said before. I mean, a lot of it is just. It's your own personal barrier. I mean, some guys find it, even if they have the $100, they may find it hard to drop the $100 on the figure. You get what I'm saying?
I don't think money even plays a big issue in it. I think one of the biggest things that hold a lot of people back, like we were speaking about last week, is the actual scale. It's pretty much they start off with Marvel Legends. The majority of their collections Marvel Legends.
Yeah, and a lot of the mid-end figures, especially the ones coming out of Japan, they're all true 1/12 scale. Right. So, they're all a little bit smaller, and they're like, I don't want to buy it, it's too small. That kind of.
But I'm saying, and it goes to show, my thing isn't that they were using Marvel Legends in the displays. I mean, I don't give a damn. I mean, you use the figures that you want, but it's like they're pretty much in a box. It's pretty much like the same, I want to say, 15 characters. If you're not dealing with Ultron or one of the Avengers, you're dealing with like outside characters, Iron Fist, Spider-Man, and it's pretty much just Bullseye. It's just pretty much in that box right there, and you don't see with all the Marvel Legends that's been released in the past 2 years alone, you don't even see half of them in displays. You don't really see. It's very few people who
love those. If you would just love the popular characters, I mean, it's just what it is,
But you know what? That's crazy. When you're going into the tournament and you say, well, I'm trying to win a contest, why in the fuck would I use Spider-Man if I know that the next 10, 12, 15 people are going to use Spider-Man?
I don't think they think of it like that. I think they just get wrapped up in whatever idea they have, and they just go with it.
Want to get a good score from me, they better, because I'm telling you, I'm knocking cats.
Listen to Pharaoh, guys.
I'm knocking them.
Listen to Pharaoh, guys. You want a high score? Don't use the popular characters.
It goes for, I mean, their creativity points. I mean, I look at that type of thing when I'm wrapping it all up. I mean, you could have a creative display with Spider-Man that's super fucking awesome, but at the same time, it's like it better be something out of the box. Spider-Man crawling on the wall, Spider-Man fucking with J. Jonah Jameson or something, the Rhino and all that other goofy shit. I don't. That's I don't know. That's
Like you
why I
said,
was
it's
a bunch of
competitions. You bring in, something that people haven't seen from you before. Take your displays to a new level that you haven't done before. Like, this isn't for likes. If you do it for likes, if you do Spider-Man, you're gonna get a lot of likes on your photo, especially if it's a well-executed shot, because everyone loves fucking Spider-Man. He's popular. Everyone, if a Spider-Man shot from like a Shannon Bowie, or he won photo combat with that panels display. But that was Spider-Man. We've seen it 1,000 times, but it was never done in that way, and it was so well done, and it took the first prize, if I'm not mistaken. So it really does come down to the creativity. You can use these characters. I mean, like you said, some people are limited by their collections and what figures and characters they have available, but it's about taking what you have and doing so much more and stuff that people haven't done before with it. And that was kind of what got me into A.C.B.A. is that I could do something with stuff that I've had for all this time and take it to a new level. And that's really what the tournament likes to encompass is this new level of craftsmanship and technique and ability that, I mean, you really just got to take it there. Otherwise, you're probably not going to get very far. It's got to be something that people haven't seen from you before, or maybe you're displaying a new technique that you haven't displayed in the past that really catches somebody's eye.
I don't know. I just really think that a lot of people, and I'm not knocking anybody, seriously, but I just think a lot of people just lack imagination. I mean, it's one of the reasons why. I mean, okay, you take the Captain America trailer. Now, I understand you're excited about the trailer, so, I got figures, let me recreate the trailer. But, I mean, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? Like, the page gets flooded with all these pictures of recreating certain scenes in the movie, and they just, I mean, you don't have the background, you don't have it's so much shit.
Yeah,
trash. Just say what it is.
There's too much.
I mean, I don't really want to call cat shit trash like that, man. Because some cats, they might want to.
Necessarily that. It's rushed. It's not that.
But yeah, it'd be bullshit. The same shit with Ant-Man. When Ant-Man movie came out, we had Ant-Man crawling under the table. Ant-Man was sitting on irons. They were out of the toaster. All type of dumbass shit, man. But what the fuck is Ant-Man doing? I understand he's small, but what the fuck is he doing in the goddamn toaster? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
I thought that the only good shot that actually was trying to reference the Civil War trailer, oddly enough, was the one where Captain America was about to kiss Iron Man. I thought that was the only creative one. I thought that was the only good one. I thought everything else was trash. Oddly enough.
Guy before Jan says meow.
Yeah. We talked about him last week or whatever. But you know what? I looked at that shot at first and I was like, I don't know. And then I read David Walton's comment and then I looked at it closer and I was like, you know what? This actually has nice posing. It's some funny aspects to it. It's completely contained. It's a backdrop, all of that.
The lighting was great too on it.
The lighting was good. Yeah, it was good. It was actually good. Homeboy that had the other shot that got a bunch of likes, where the feet wasn't planted and when the soldier was looking at the camera crew or something. That was a good attempt, but like you were saying before, it just seemed like it was rushed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and
he just wanted it out there. Yeah.
The thing about it with these shots that come out after like movies or trailers or whatever drop, it's like, yo, if I see 30 people do something, I'm not gonna be 31. Like what like why would I follow what the last 30 people is doing? I'm gonna go back to the drawing board. I'm gonna bring out a figure that hasn't been used for a while and try to go in a totally different direction. Like, yo, no matter what, everybody that's on that page got at least 20 or 30 figures in their collection. Some people have more, some people have hundreds of figures. Like, there's no reason why you need to do what the last 30 people did as far as the display is concerned. It's whack. It's just whack. It's no other way to put it. That's just
I
what
agree.
it is.
And that's why I said it. A lot of people lack real imagination, and and to back that up, that's why when you get figures and you pose them, you're doing a scene, they say that never happened. You know what I mean? Like, oh, the Avengers never fought, dude. You like, listen, dude. The whole point is you can make your own shit. You do not have to. What's the point of me looking at a comic book? So I'm going to actually do this scene constantly. I don't know. I just can't do it.
There's room for both. There should be both. There should be influence from the comics if you can recreate a scene, really well. I think Todd did that really great cover with I think it was Black Panther meeting the Avengers. That was spot on, and it's taken straight from the comics. It emulated. It's the essence of A.C.B.A. is emulating something from the comics. But at the same time, these characters have had tons of stories over so many years with so many different writers and creative teams, and everyone creates their own version of the character, and includes whoever other characters they want into their version of their story. You can do the same as a figure artist, as a articulated comic book artist. It's you're creating the world of the scene.
A.C.B.A. has grown so much, though, man. I can understand when maybe I don't know what Bug was thinking when he came up with it. Exactly. Maybe that's what he was doing. Like, okay, we're going to recreate this scene. But I mean, just with all of the properties that have come out, it's like it's just grown more than just say, let's recreate some shit somebody else has done. I mean, you have so much shit available to you now. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't see how the only thing you could do, and like you said, you don't have to have hundreds of figures. You might have 15, 30 figures. But how do you have 30 figures and you cannot come up with some shit to do?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's impossible, I think, for someone who really tries. If they're really trying to think outside the box, they should be able to, accomplish a nice scene or whatever else. It doesn't have to like follow suit behind everybody else.
Agreed.
That's just my opinion on it. But
Yeah, no doubt. You know what it is sometimes too with stuff in a group that gets posted. I'm pretty sure that we all guilty of this. Like, I don't want people to get discouraged as far as posting posting their stuff and thinking that it's not actually solid work. Like, on a daily basis, there's tons of work that get posted to the page that's solid, that's good work, that people may just be like, yo, that's hot, but don't click like. That
right.
happens so often. I'm guilty of it. I do it all the time. I do it a lot. But like, what we try to do as the admins is we try to still feature those shots in different ways on the Instagram or on the fan page, or as a feature picture with a review from a reviewer that doesn't necessarily do A.C.B.A. There's different ways that we try to get those pictures out there, but like, don't get discouraged, man. Don't think that because 1,000 people not clicking like on your picture that it's actually not hot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's some things that's gonna blow up. For instance, we was talking about that. Somebody posted a picture with Deadpool and like some people dancing or some shit, and it was like on a shelf or something like that. Yo, that picture's at like 300 likes right now, when it's like it's like 30, 50 other shots on the page right now that is equally as good as that or better, that have barely cracked 100 likes right now. So I feel like people look, they look at stuff, but sometimes they just don't click like, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you haven't put forth solid work. I mean, literally, the page is pumping 24 hours a day, 365. So things are just constantly getting posted. It could be sensory overload to somebody that's new, or to anybody really. So don't get discouraged though. Like, people still looking at your stuff, and it's still some good stuff out there. But just try to be original, man. Just try to do something that you haven't seen done before, or if you have, then try to top it. Make sure you take your time, take an extra day, take an extra 12 hours to really make sure everything is on point, everything is official, man.
Plus, it's character. A lot of people are character biased anyway. So I think you can see some top of the line bullshit with a character they like, and people I've seen, like you said, picks go 300-400. And like this, I mean, and again, I try not to knock people, but you're like, man, this is bullshit. Technically, you know what I mean? Like, come on, he's standing in fucking 3 feet of grass. Like, what the fuck is this? But they like the picture, and so You know.
No doubt.
You guys want to move on to the next topic here? We got a
Yeah.
lot to
What
cover.
Yeah,
else we talking about?
we're talking about Emiya. When is the exact day that the backer closes? It's going to
It's
20.
be.
already closed.
Oh, it's already closed. Yeah,
Already closed.
it's closed.
That's-
We're done.
Yeah,
Sealed the deal.
it was the 25th. So yeah, we all done with that.
It's all done.
They still have the Fush exclusive available for $45. It's a blue ninja, sleeveless ninja.
Oh,
It's actually like a
Ryu
deluxe
Hayabusa
blue
Yeah,
ninja. Yeah,
Ryu
like
Hayabusa, yeah, from Ninja
from
Gaiden.
Ninja
right,
Gaiden.
right.
The
It looks like Ninja Gaiden.
NES one, yeah.
So that looks good. I think a lot of people might jump on that and try to do their own thing as far as customizing the stuff is concerned. So it looks good, and it's an opportunity for you to grab a ninja if you didn't pledge anything. So I think that's good, and like we spoke about for the past couple of weeks, you know that they still caking up. They still making money off you know, even after the Kickstarter has closed. So
Yeah, that's
hopefully,
the good thing. That's the good thing, is
yeah,
that
yeah,
we're letting these people know that yeah, that for anyone who backed it, it's closed, but you still got the Fush exclusive. There's still ways to get this stuff. Even though it's closed. So it's good that they're leaving that open. That it's not just like, well, that's it.
I feel bad for anybody who actually didn't get on to like. I, I really don't understand. Like I can understand. Some people just didn't have the money, and it is what it is. Real life trumps this shit any day. But for people who actually collect and had dollars to spend, I mean, if they didn't get a couple of these ninjas, they're going to be kicking themselves in the ass. Like
no
seriously,
question.
that hand ninja shit, that
Haters.
bullshit's out the
Yeah,
door.
it's a wrap.
Like,
I don't want to spend my money on this line I never heard of. I'd rather spend it on characters that I'm familiar with and whatnot. But those figures are going to come out in May, and you're going to be like, shit, I should have gotten those, man. Because now, yeah, they're 45 for the exclusive, but you're not going to get the white, you're not going to get the blacks and the reds and all of those samurai. Like, this was the train to jump on, and there were so many opportunities, but
but
don't
the
come
ninjas.
Well, the
us
only
in
one that's really exclusive is just
nobody wants to.
You
I
say
mean, but
which
it's
one?
a no-brainer with ninjas. You really don't have to. I mean, think of all the fucking things you could do. Almost every character that's been at a street level at least, or even mid-street level, has fought a ninja. You can do a million and one things with a damn ninja. You can't do shit with an astronaut. I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. Like like we discussed, it was the perfect figure at the perfect time. So no question. Like, uh, and I hope that people think outside the box when they come out, and we don't see the page flooded with the same type of things. But like, yeah, just about every major character has encountered ninjas in some form of fashion. So I mean, it's so many things to think about. Just
I'm glad you said that because Daredevil, the page is gonna flood with Daredevil. It's
no
gonna be
question,
Daredevil and Elektra and Red Ninjas all day.
no question.
That's all. Oh, and Snake Eyes, GI Joe type shit. That's what the page is going to be. But I'm prepared for that, man. I can't wait for these to hit.
What else we talking about, Rick?
All right. Well, we moved through that one very quickly. That's surprising.
We've talked not a lot to say. We're all excited.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it a little bit before we actually got on, just between each other. But what went down on Black Friday for all of us? What were we doing? Do we like the holiday? Do we hate it? Did we get anything? What's the deal? What's going on, Bug?
Man, I can't stand fucking Black Friday. I think it's some American bullshit. I can't stand it, man. It's just but I did have to go out. I didn't go out to really do any shopping. I actually had to get some we got a new label printer to help with the labels for the A.C.B.A cutouts and just to make the shipping process easier.
Oh shit.
So
Okay.
I had to go out and do that. We got a thermal label printer, so it's actually no ink, which I thought was pretty cool. I think it's cool. It might not be cool. I'm like an old man when it comes to like technology and shit, so I don't know shit. So you tell me if it's cool or not. But yeah, I went out to do that. What you say? What you say?
You're like Frank the Tank, old school. You're like, oh, we're going to Bed Bath and Beyond in the morning. It's pretty exciting.
Right. So, yeah, that's me. So I went down and picked that up, and I met up with my man Dave VX, and that was it. I didn't try to once Thanksgiving hits, man, I try to stay out of Toys R Us, man. I don't even want to be like. I like to go in Toys R Us, get what I want, and be out. I can't stand in no lines. I don't want to do none of that. So around this time of year, I'm online only. On the day, I guess it was Thanksgiving day or night, I caught the Phasma on Prime, and it came 2 days. You could see Phasma behind me on top of the Detolf right there. That was all I got. It was all I cared about. I got enough stuff on pre-order for Ami and Big Bad Toy Store. I didn't need to go out and buy nothing, so I was good. The only thing that I'm trying to get now is the power loader for NECA. I want to get that, and a couple of things from Batman animated series, but it's not something that's going to be on sale for Black Friday, so it didn't matter. So I'm good. I try to stay out the stores, man, on Black Friday. Fuck Black Friday.
Well, I had a pretty decent Black Friday. I actually worked the day of, and then I stopped by Toys R Us right after work because they're open late. They're open till like 10 or 11 or sometimes midnight on Black Friday. And I was just curious to see if they had any deals or whatever. You know, sometimes they'll pop in and they'll have something. But I went in, man, so disappointing. I mean, I went in there actually to get something that I'd stashed on one of the rafters, and just while I was there, I was going to check the sales, but there was tons of people shopping, tons of lines, lots of kids running around screaming, but everything was still like basically the same price. All the stuff that was on Black Friday priced was like garbage stuff that was manufactured for Black Friday pricing. You know, it's just terrible. And I went to the action figure section, to NECA, they've got nothing, WWE nothing, Marvel nothing. So I walked out of there with just a chameleon that I'd stashed on one of the rafters. And as a personal complaint, all this Black Friday hype made it really hard for me to get that goddamn figure because I got it stashed on top and I had to step on the shelf. But there's employees and kids running everywhere, and it was not clandestine at all. So that was my Friday. Saturday, I woke up early and I went with a buddy to a local collectible show here in SoCal. It's called Frankenson, and he was excited because one of his booths that sells all the imports was selling some doorbuster stuff. So he got a Broly for $90. Which I think is a pretty good price. I'm not familiar with the pricing on that, but he says it's a good price.
Regular price, original retail price was $68.
All right, yeah, I'll take it. Normally they had it for like $120 or $130 or something, but yeah, he got a pretty decent deal on that. I think he got like Sailor Jupiter for his girlfriend, and the same booth happened to have the Batman animated series Batmobile for $65. So you know my ass grabbed that. It is super nice.
That's a really good deal.
Yeah, that's a good deal for sure.
For basically the retail price of the vehicle, I actually got the two figures thrown in as well. So I got the vehicle and the figures for a flat 100, which is great. Beyond that, I went to a different booth that I always go to. Her name is the NECA Lady, and she was selling the red alien queen right here. Normally $100, 75. So you know I had to get that too. That was pretty much all I grabbed at the show. I also grabbed Ash from
Medieval
Army
Ash.
of Darkness. He's up on the detail. Yeah, the Medieval Ash, exactly. Plastic and Paint, you guys saw this haul, so you guys I'm retrading old material here. But today I actually went to brunch with my mom, and afterwards I stopped by Toys R Us just because it was nearby. And they were having 30% off on all WWE figures as well as Marvel. So they had the new Elites that just came in. This is Series 38. So I got the Roman Reigns, I got the Daniel Bryan, and I got the Adam Rose. I was only going to get two originally, but then I went to scan them, and they were actually sitting at $13.99 each until December 5th. So this isn't a sale that's...
Jesus, yeah.
You guys, listen up. This is not been whatsoever. So if you're trying to get these Elites, this would be a good chance to jump on. They're at Toys R Us here in SoCal.
Yeah, I'm gonna be attacking my Toys R Us within the next couple of weeks, just looking for Elites now.
I also went to a local Target because I saw someone on Instagram post that they were doing buy two, get one free, all action figures across any line, even dolls. And I got two fucking Stormtroopers. I've never seen these in stores. And sure enough, I got two. So these are actually for the display that we're going to be doing. It's an event A.C.B.A is putting together for a local comic shop here. We'll talk about that as details get more finalized. But my free figure was this A.J. Lee right here, $12 figure, but
that's a good figure. That's a good figure for
rare.
That's a good figure.
Yeah, it's the last A.J. Lee figure. I did a good review on her. It's a good face scan. So I'm happy to at least get her for free. And then these two stormtroopers. I mean, I don't have any of these,
Yeah, I
but
haven't seen them at retail either. It's funny that you say that. I haven't seen them. I don't have one new Stormtrooper at all.
I see that 2-pack everywhere, but I don't see the single.
I see stormtroopers everywhere, especially
nope.
Walmart. My
Oh,
Walmart must have at least about 6 of them.
Need that new
yeah,
I need that new Battlefront trooper.
They got those, the red and white one. They're sitting there.
that's nice.
Well, Black Friday for me, I
Oh,
didn't
but
I didn't get too much of anything. What were the wrestlers I bought, Rick? The
Farouk and Bradshaw from A.P.A.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know their names.
mm,
They're just gonna be some random dudes standing at the door of my club I'm making. But
The Iceberg Lounge. What you making?
I mean, I got something in the works. But I mostly bought movies. I got John Wick for $4 on Blu-ray. I'm pretty proud of that because I love John Wick. But I mean, I bought a bunch. What's the Batman Assault on Arkham? All these movies were $4. Kingsman. They had a bunch of shit for $4. So
Mm.
I spent about I don't know, maybe 80 or $90 on movies. I bought a whole lot of movies. Just all types of shit that I just wouldn't have bought regularly. But,
That's
for
good shit.
$4 to $6. And that was pretty much I think that was pretty much it. Oh, I went to Jamba Juice, but they were open over here, so
Goddamn.
yo,
Mouth
Pharaoh
off.
you say what?
with his Jew wearing his UGG boot, face jacket. You're a big
No, I mean, I just came out. I hate the lines and
What?
I was at Best Buy, man, and the line wrapped from the front counter all the way around through past the refrigerators. I was like, shit. But
Oh, shit.
other than that, I didn't really do shit for Black Friday. I'm like Bug though with Black Friday. It's a bunch of bullshit. But I will admit, I was standing in line. I was looking. They had a 55-inch TV for $275. I was really tempted to buy it just on impulse. Like shit, $275. Like I might as well just buy one of these TVs on the street and put it in the closet. But nah, I resisted and I didn't buy that shit. So
Yeah, I mean, I when I went out on Black Friday, it was just we'd all finished eating, and my friend was just like, "Dude, let's just go to the stores." And I was like, "Oh, well, I was gonna go anyway, so let's go." And I hit up my Walmart and my Target dry, nothing there, terrible, not a damn thing picked through, like it was nobody's business. And
yeah.
we go through to another Walmart, and I find two Bradshaws, so I took both of the Bradshaws. I did not find a fucking Farouk yet. So I got to hunt him down with the door. So that was cool. A lot of people like Pharaoh, man. A lot of people buying the Blu-rays, man. They were like dirt cheap. Seen people with like carts full of Blu-rays. Who knows if they're selling at flea markets or if they actually do just love Blu-rays that much? But they were buying a shitload of them. I found some good stuff at the Disney store. I found a bulldozer, got me that. I got a bunch of other figures from the Ultron wave. I found a Ghost Rider. That was awesome. Never see him on shelves, and I finally saw him, and I saw a gang load of chameleons. I took a chameleon, and I got a Ghost Rider too. And I love that Ghost Rider. Now that I have it in hand, and I'm so mad I don't have the motorcycle.
uh,
I gotta get that damn Series 8 and steal that motorcycle.
Oh, quickly, I was at the comic. I went to the comic shop too the day. Well, that was Black Friday. I said the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and I got this for $3. So
what? Ooh, which version?
yeah,
Wow.
they had this. They had
is that?
some other NECAs in the bin. They got some old Judge Dredd 2000 AD Judge Dredd figures. They had a bunch of shit, and it was all a Black Friday sale, and this was $3. So I almost got
That's a good buy for $3. That's a really good buy.
I don't know. He has no articulation, but I'm going to change that like I did with the other Freddy. So
You pop with any of the Ultimate Freddys, but is that the one before he's all messed up?
yeah, that's what I mean. The top body. You have to get off the subject. The top body pops right off. I used the Ultimate Freddy's legs and everything to pop it off and make this Freddy. So I'm going to do the same thing with my other Ultimate Freddy and just have him articulated.
I still need that Ultimate Freddy, man.
Yeah, he's become hard to find. He was warming shelves here forever, but he was gone. and now I can't find them anymore.
Emiya,
I'm
what
glad
the fuck is that doll that you dressing up over there, man? What is that? What's that?
What, this?
Yeah, school
Smart
us, man.
doll.
What figure is that?
Smart doll. 1/3 scale.
Smart doll?
Yeah, it's called a smart doll.
So it's a doll, though. That's what you're saying.
Doll. Yeah. Yeah.
No doubt.
Very nice.
Yeah, it looks
Hey,
pretty
speaking
good.
of, I found those, those Loki sets. I don't know if you've seen those dance studios. I think Nestro and a few other people repainted that, but I finally found that for the first time. I didn't pick it up, but I've been hearing myths about it, and it was becoming like Bigfoot, where it only existed in blurry photos, and finally I saw
What were you saying? You were breaking up at first. What did you find?
the Lori set. It's those doll houses that are Target exclusive. It's a dance.
Yeah.
Man,
Like
that
a
dance
loft.
studio remade into Peter's apartment is sick.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Sick,
it's
man.
only 30. Pretty good.
Right.
I didn't pick it up. Picking up a bunch of other stuff, but it's nice. I might go back and get it.
Who was
But
that
finally,
that repainted the dance studio in plastic and paint? That was Aaron Williams, right?
Yeah, it's Aaron Williams.
William,
But where do you start putting that shit after a while? That's what I mean. Like, I don't know if you guys can see all of this. This is all Dio. This is Dio. This box here is Dio. I got Dio back here. And even after you break them down, like, where do you put this shit? Like, this shit starts getting like.
I've got a big Sterilite container where I'll just like sit like a file cabinet.
Yeah, it's just all this shit just gets in the way for me, man. I have no room for shit.
Save space. I got one down in the bottom here, but most of them are folded up. What's it called? Broken down.
Yeah, I got everything
All right. Should we move on to
broken down up on top of the DTOF, some of it just broken down into different pieces. So
Yeah, I
But I
have no
can't
space for it.
I can't do that detox shit like you do doing, man. That shit would drive me crazy. Without having doubles, oh man, it's just seem like a clusterfuck for me. Especially trying to get things up to do some pictures. I probably just start
for me,
knocking shit down.
once I put it in the DTOF, that's it. If more than likely I have a double of it. So, and if not, then it's just where it's gonna be.
Yeah, when I put it up on the DTOF display, I've got these like acrylic risers that I got on this website to kind of give them all this nice separation so you can see everyone's face.
What's that lighting
But,
system you got there? What is that, Fabio?
The what?
The lighting system you got there. What is that?
This is the dioder lights, the 3-pack from IKEA. Thanks to Poncho for the suggestion.
Okay.
Took forever to watch. Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah, it does.
And then those acrylic risers, I got them on a site called smalljoes.com. They're actually pretty cheap. They're $10 a pop, but they wrecked me on the shipping, man. I got 6 of them, so that's like $60. It was like $30 shipping. I ended up paying like almost $100.
Why?
Jeez.
Why was it shipping so much?
But they look so good. They're perfectly sized for the detail.
They just hit you with some eBay shipping and shit. Like the figure's $1, but shipping is $99 type shit.
But you know, a lot of those companies they don't have that like how Hasbro has something worked out with shipping where it's pretty much flat rate for them. It's probably some dude shipping that shit from the basement.
That shit don't matter. It's just they just trying to get over with extra money through shipping. That don't matter. If you run in a business, there's no way that you can't streamline your shipping in some type of way and make it affordable for the customers. That's bullshit. So they just getting over, really.
They said, fuck that. They're making it affordable for them.
Right. Right.
Oh, you got that Chris Reeve Superman. Is that broken on you?
Nah, man. Well,
about to break it right now on camera.
This is my 4th one. So I actually sat back and was careful with it so it hasn't broken. It might break right here on this podcast, but no, it hasn't broken. From your favorite company.
So what else happened this week, Rick? What else we talking about?
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess Keiyo's opinion on this matter doesn't matter anyways, right?
What happened?
What did you do on Black Friday, man?
Oh, I didn't spend that much this year. I bought like a crap load of memory cards, and I bought a couple of 4 TB drives. I bought a few Hot Toys, like on Sideshow on their sale. It's like 30% off.
Oh yeah, those good sale on
I
site so
bought
far.
two the Kerberos Panzerjägers. I've always
Oh,
wanted the
those
figure.
are those are really sick.
I've always wanted the figure, but I just didn't want to like pay full price for it. So I think on the Black Friday sale, it was like $100 off. It's normally like 300 something, but it was only like 200 something. It was free shipping. So I bought those. I mean, it didn't really buy too much. I mean, I looked around the other sideshow stuff. I debated buying the Red Hulk PF to go with my Green Hulk PF.
Yeah.
It was I think $60 off. Normally like 600, so it would have been 540. But it was such a good deal. I don't think it was free shipping though, so I probably would have ended up paying 600 in the end. But I ended up not getting it. So
I just want to point out, you notice how he says, "Oh, I didn't spend a bunch of money this year. I just only spent this amount and got a gang of this shit and everything else."
My hard drives are expensive.
Right? Okay.
Let me see them. Let me see them Figma horses. Let me see how they look. Emiya, what's good?
Where are the horses, man?
I don't have any in the office.
They're all broke. They're all broken.
Yeah, I haven't seen too many people with those horses at all, man. I saw like maybe
I
like
think a lot of people didn't know about them.
4 or 5 people with them, if that. I don't even think it was that much.
This way, man.
They had a
I'm a pretty well informed guy. You know, dude, I didn't even know that they went up. Just one day, Keiyo was like, "Oh man, those
What's the
horses are ship soon," and then I was like, "Oh shit." I didn't
But they
even
had a
know.
huge breakage
deal about
problem
those
too, though.
horses? The big deal about those horses is that it's the second product by Good Smile that's made in their Japan factory. So those horses are actually made in Japan. Believe it or not, those horses are made in Japan. Not many things these days are made in Japan because labor in Japan is really expensive. But those are actually made in Japan, those horses.
So what you think about them though, as far as the quality? I know you fucked around with them.
I think they're small. I guess I'm used to, like I said, all the characters I want to ride horses are like guys like Guts and Rao, from Fist of the North Star.
And it's small for them.
No, they're normal size horses. They're basic size horses. Those horses that those motherfuckers ride are huge.
You have to take Rao's horses.
Muscular horses. They're these gigantic muscular horses.
I got you.
Other guys ride.
Though, do you think it's for that Link though?
Good for Link.
Okay.
Because Link, Epona is not an overly muscular horse.
Okay.
It looks like a normal. I think honestly that horse was technically made for Link. It's
yeah,
not.
That's pretty much what I wanted it for. So I'm
And
happy
the
to hear
white
that.
horse, I think that one is made for Indiana Jones.
Okay.
So the brown horse is for Link, and that one. They're not good for Guts or Griffith because Guts and Griffith, they ride huge horses. Their horses are really muscular. It'd be nice if at one point they do like a big muscular horse, like maybe like a horse like I don't know, war horse or something. They can call it like a war horse,
War horse.
Well,
Yep,
at the
would
risk
be
of
better.
sounding like a broken record, everybody I've ever seen post a picture of those horses, they came broken.
What was
After
broken
that,
about?
like almost everybody. All on the import or IWO, all on the import page. Like everybody just was really disappointed they broke at the neck. Instant.
Oh. It didn't happen with the couple that I messed with, but I know the big thing about the horses that a lot of people didn't like. The system of balance is very similar to the Figma Solid Snake, where they're a little bit flimsy, but not flimsy, not really flimsy. They're flimsy in the way that it's meant that the figure it's supposed to be kind of supported by the figure's own weight when it's like doing poses and stuff.
Right.
That was the idea behind it. I know Rick, he got Solid Snake, and he just said, this is a fucking flimsy figure. It's really, really fucking loose.
I couldn't take it.
And then he emailed Good Smile about it. They think told him, you don't know how to play with the figure.
Yeah, that's what they told me. That's what they told me.
Wow.
I messaged them because I was the first one out of like our group friends to get it. So I got it, and I was telling Keiyo, I was like, Keiyo, man, this shit is loose, man. Like this shit is.
And he put it on the screen, and he was like waving it around, and it was like wobbling and stuff. I was like, okay, whatever,
You caught a bad one. Mine is fine. The only issue that I have with mine is the right hand is a little funny style. But I thought the figure was fine.
They're actually all a little flimsy. It's intentional. the figure is supposed to be balanced by its own weight.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and so I messaged them. I told them like, hey guys, there's something wrong with my figure. It's really loose. And I kid you not, in very kind words, and in so many words, they said like, I'm sorry, you just don't understand how to play with the figure, so we're not going to send you a new one. And I was like, what?
Wow.
And they sent a link to Anthony's Customs review.
Yeah, they sent me a link to Anthony's Customs review, and they were like, watch this guy. He knows what he's talking about, and he'll tell
Really?
you how to play with it. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? I even sent Anthony's Customs. I was like, man, good smile over here telling me that I don't know how to play with my shit, and that I should be watching you.
That's
and they sent me his
hilarious.
video. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
that's
hilarious,
that's
yeah.
really funny.
Later on that
really
day, though, later on that day, the damn foot broke on mine through my own negligence, I suppose. And so.
Did you get another one? You got a replacement though, right?
Yeah, they said that we're checking for replacement. So.
Did they send you one?
No, not yet. I have to follow up. I may have been too long, honestly.
Follow up, man. Definitely
I
follow
just
up.
remembered right now like an idiot.
I love that figure, man. I bought one for my man Chico. It's actually back here somewhere. It's right up there actually. So I just haven't met up with him to give it to him yet, but he's a huge Solid Snake fan or whatever. So
I want them to do the Metal Gear Solid 1 version. That's the one I want the most. Hopefully
I
they
don't
do.
know. I got the figure. I think I took one picture with it. I haven't taken the damn thing out of the box since. It's just sitting back there.
I took a couple pictures. I just recently took a picture with him recently too. But I love the figure, man. I got him in my main display.
What display is that? Like, is it with your superhero stuff?
Oh no, nah, you kidding?
I don't know, man. I never saw it.
Nah, it's what other Figma figures though. It's just a Figma, just a couple of different Figma figures in the detail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't like the
Yes.
mix shit. I'm not about to put Solid Snake up against Magneto and shit. I'm not
Right.
about that life. I can't do that, man.
Man, he's supposed to be fighting Wolverine. I don't know what
Right.
you're talking about.
I'm not about that. If you could kind of freak it with like some generic soldier looking figures or something like that, then maybe that's one thing. But I'm not impatient. I don't have a problem waiting for the company to release the supporting characters for another one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll take some single pictures of the figure.
Are you gonna buy the Gurukov? I don't remember how to pronounce the Gurukovich soldiers.
Yeah, definitely. So once those
What
come out,
The what soldiers?
the Russian soldiers.
The Russian soldiers, the Gurukovich soldiers, the Metal Gear Solid 2 ones.
I didn't know they were releasing those. Now
They're not
this
out
is
yet.
the
They're
one.
not out yet. They're doing them.
Oh, okay. Now they're not going to be like the
Max
Rebel
Factory's doing
Tech
them.
ones, are they?
Yeah, oh man, I saw those Rebel Tech figures. I think that was
Oh,
Shannon
boy.
Bowie that had showed them. Those shits was garbage. Woo!
No. The snake was slick. The snake and all
No,
them.
the soldiers, I mean. The
Yeah,
snake
the
was
soldiers, yeah, they're trash, man.
trash. Garbage.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Remember I asked you that you want a soldier. I was trying to put mine off on you and shit.
Fuck you. No, those shits was trash. But I was planning on actually getting 3 of those, but then I saw how they was breaking. I was like, I'm good.
Fuck
Yeah.
breaking. For any, you know what I'm saying? Not to even sit back and like keep talking about this figure. For anybody out here watching this podcast, if you're into Metal Gear, do not buy this figure. This figure is horrible. The articulation on this figure is like fucking stupid, man. It can't. That's it. Leg out, leg forward. You can't do shit else with the damn figure. The arms are. This arm only goes forward like this.
Yeah, give me Ice Cube or some sort.
It's stupid. So.
Jesus.
That's too much.
Wait a minute.
It's okay. That's actually Pharaoh's favorite figure.
Oh, it ain't either. Hey, you know it's really stupid? Not to eat. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm just saying, if you guys can see this neck,
Go ahead.
that's
Camera's
crazy.
off. Oh, that's nuts.
That's just crazy as hell, man. It doesn't.
That looks stupid.
Right. You know,
So,
Dallas was the one. Dallas was the one that put me on it. When I told him, I said I ordered it. He said, "Oh man," he said the figure's horrible.
Yo, Dallas, his what he buys and what he's into is he's very particular about shit that he's buying. I noticed that he don't fuck with no Marvel. I don't think he fuck with any domestic shit. Period. You know
No,
what I'm
yes he
saying?
does. He
What?
just he's just really low key. No, he buys all the shit. He's just really low key about it. He doesn't care enough for it, like to show it, and he doesn't. But he has it, man. I built my entire DC Universe Classics collection pretty much off of Dallas back in the day. So I mean, he buys the shit. He buys it in multiples, man. When I say multiples, he literally buys like 4 or 5 of each figure in the
Yeah,
wave.
no doubt. I definitely noticed that about him. I think he's got like probably like at least 10 of those Naruto figures and shit. He's on his army building shit heavy. Even with import shit, it don't matter. He'll go in and army build.
I'm not gonna tell anybody his business about how many ninjas he ordered.
Right. Yeah, he definitely went in on the ninjas too.
Yeah,
So.
he went.
Yeah,
No question. So yeah, moving right along though,
Yeah.
man. I'm not sure if this was even on the topic list, but we actually hit 10,000 followers on Instagram early this morning, I guess, or yesterday at some time. So I think that's a pretty good milestone, especially for the amount of time we did it in just under a year on Instagram. You know, A.C.B.A has been around. We've been doing our thing for a while, but we weren't really heavy on Instagram. You know, there was other people as far as toy photography and figure photography that were on Instagram longer than us. But I think that a lot of people are kind of like, as far as Instagram goes, I think a lot of people are kind of at a standstill because they all kind of using the same formula of tagging and daily features and stuff like that. And I think that the way that we do it on our Instagram is a little different. It's a little more intimate, and I think we showcase some much better work overall. You know, it's the quality over quantity. So I'm really happy about where we are and where we're going to go, and I think that we can definitely be one of the leading groups on Instagram for photography, for figure photography for A.C.B.A. But 10,000 in less than a year and less than 1,000 posts and following only maybe 250 people or something like that. I think that's amazing numbers right there. So, congratulations to us, man.
Wobbly.
What do you say?
Does not wobble.
It's wobbly. It's
No,
shaking a little bit. See?
that's me shaking.
Yeah, that shit look a little
You
janky.
shake it side to side. Shake it side to side. There you go. Yeah, see, it's a little bit wobbly.
At the waist, at the waist
Yeah,
right there.
that's what Rick was talking about. It's supposed to be that way.
I don't like it.
So, yo, everybody talk about a picture that you saw in a past week or past month from the group that you really liked. I think that's important for again for just the morale and like getting an idea of what everybody is into personally and what you like. So, Fabio, you want to start? What you saw recently that you thought was dope?
come back to me because I got to think about it.
Pharaoh.
I like the Dragon Ball Z picture when he
Which
got
one?
Goku flexing,
Oh
getting
yeah,
ready.
that was
Yeah, that
a
shit
good
was
picture.
hot.
Yeah, I was like, that was really nice.
Had Vegeta
And you
with
know
the
what?
flow
That was a very simple shot, but it was just the posing was on point, the space in the frame and everything just looked real clean. That was a dope one. I like that one too. What about you, Rick?
Yeah. Man, I'm gonna hit it again, man. You know that Captain America and Iron Man about to kiss shot was money.
He's into
It was
that.
silly. It was silly. I first seen it and I was just like, man, this is something that nobody's gonna do. And
Yeah, no doubt. That was hot too, though.
I thought it was funny. I thought that it did exactly what it needed to, and subtly had a lot of good things going for it. The pose you had with uh, with Thor holding back Hulk from like, what the fuck are these two doing? The Deadpool at the bottom taking the picture, the Black Panther like, what the fuck is going on? It was well lit. They had a nice background. It was good. I thought it was money. I thought it did I want people something that's catching fire like that, like like when somebody does an Ant-Man shot, I want it much more creatively done. Like it doesn't have to be serious. Just something that if you want to follow the trend, you don't have to do it in the way of trying to copy a specific scene like that. And I like that shot, man. And that Dragon Ball Z one was good too. That was a really good one. It was really well lit, which is what I want from people on A.C.B.A. is I just want the lighting and the posing to be stepped up because the lighting just sucks sometimes. I can't see shit.
No doubt.
These people post and it gets annoying, man. I'm like, man, well, what's Iron Man's hand doing over there? I can't even see. And I'm happy with those two for sure. Those are my two for this week. I'm sure Keiyo has a lot to say. Keiyo?
I think the best one is that kissing one, definitely.
Oh yeah, there you go.
My favorite one.
Yeah, we knew you would say that.
There's only one thing missing in it,
What's that?
They got too much clothes on, I mean, if I was to do it, I would make sure that they were like naked.
Oh, I 100% agree, man.
That's the only thing.
Keiyo,
I mean, that's the only shot that comes to my mind at the moment. I mean, that's.
And Emiya once did one of the most famous shots in A.C.B.A. history with Bruce Wayne and Arnold. When they were in the embrace. Incredible.
No, Emiya shot with the Billy Harrington figure.
Oh my God!
I had to get to take it off the page.
Got deleted off the page like 10 times. You kept reposting. There he is. Look, there he is.
Tell everybody who that is. Some people don't even know who that is.
No, Billy Harrington is he's a former gay porn star from America who had a
one of your favorite performers. Don't forget that.
Man,
and he became really popular in Japan. He had a resurgence of popularity around maybe I'd like to say somewhere between 5-7 years ago, and still popular to this day. Basically, some dude on Nico Nico Doga, which is the Japanese version of YouTube, I guess, in simple terms, he made some parody videos of Billy Harrington. He basically was just somehow, I don't know why he was watching the Billy Harrington movie or whatever, but he was watching one of his gay movies from back in the day, because he was a very popular gay porn star in the 90s to early 2000s. And why are you shaking your head, Pharaoh?
Because you said, he was this and that.
He was a very popular gay porn star during that time, and I guess this guy, he must have just was watching one of his movies for whatever reason, and decided that he was going to make a mashup video of a Billy Harrington, one of his movies, and then other guys started seeing it. They thought it was funny, and then everyone started doing it. They were doing parody videos and watching. He was particularly popular for his pants wrestling videos. They call it pants wrestling. Basically, it's two. It's two guys wrestling, and they, it's that kind of gay movie.
We don't know. First of all, we don't know. You got to explain this culture to us. I'm not on to this.
It's basically it's gay porn wrestling. That's what it is. And like I said, this guy became really popular, and he became so popular by doing these funny videos. These because it's Japanese humor, and that they actually contacted this guy. He lives in New York actually. They contacted him. They flew him over to Japan. They said, "Hey, man, we want to do a Figma of you," and they did 4 different versions of him, a Figma, and they had a huge event where he showed up, and fans were thousands of fans gathered in Japan to see him, and he would call people up on the stage, and he'd spank them because one of the famous things he'd do in the movie is spank them. He'd spank guys.
Let me see the figure.
Incredible videos you'll ever see. These going crazy for Bill.
Actually, looks like a good figure though, as far as articulation and everything.
If you could use that top body on a different figure,
yeah, that'd be dope.
Going for it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But I just wanted to say quickly. One day we were on chat. Mr. Emiya chooses to put on Billy Harrington something, and this dude, This dude grabbed this motherfucker by the ankles and ripped his pants off him. I'm like, oh, hey, we were out. Fuck it, I'm gone.
That's that.
Man,
It
man,
made Pharaoh. It made Pharaoh feel things he's never felt before.
Man,
right, felt like
the
me.
amount of times that we've tried to have Johnny watch a Billy Harrington video with him leaving would shock you.
What's up? What's up with Johnny? He's good.
Yeah, he's good, right, Keiyo?
Why
Yeah,
are y'all watching Billy Harrington movies though? Why didn't you ask
That's
that
the real
question?
question. You're
Dude,
right.
it's cinematic. It's a cinematic masterpiece.
Okay.
yeah, man.
Ain't
I mean,
nothing cinematic about no goddamn gay porn.
I'll take your word
Oh, come
for it.
on. You gotta watch Concord first, and then we can
Oh
talk.
man,
yeah,
y'all.
you need to
Okay.
watch Concord. You need to watch Concord. You need to watch Concord, man, and of course, Playing with
Oh
Fire
man.
too.
Oh, Playing with Fire, my God.
I mean, those are like the classic.
One of the most incredible videos I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know nothing about that. What we looking
Bruh.
for? What we looking forward to in 2016?
Right.
What we looking forward to?
But you know,
Hey, let me,
actually also
let me throw
Billy Harrington.
like this.
What you say, Fabio?
There was this one guy, Erwin Gehring. He goes by Sir Winger on Instagram. He posted one of the shots that I really liked this week, and it was actually a 1/6 scale. It was the Terminator 1 head on this like nude male body, and he had this recasted impact effect. We had like lava on it.
That was a good picture.
Yeah, I
was a
saw
good
that. It looked okay. You know what? I couldn't really figure out what I was looking at first. I had to really like look closely at it, and I liked the ingenuity of it. I like that it was, it was different. It was definitely different, and I thought that was pretty cool too, though.
Yeah, and it's kind of a weird pick for me because I don't really mess with any 1/6 stuff, but I thought that was a well composed photo and yeah, creative.
For
Certainly.
sure, that was
You're breaking up a little bit, Rick. Say it again.
a lot of specs to it and stuff. A good picture. I don't think it got that much love, but I thought it was a very good picture.
Yeah,
I'd say
it's
50, right?
one of those examples of people not really, hitting like, but it's still being a solid pick, though.
We can hit up on the next topic now, I suppose. Um, Today's figure market, there's a lot of variety in what we can collect these days, and even in similar scales. I was just talking about this with Keiyo the other day. There's so many companies with the same damn licenses. We have Bandai, who does many different, a bunch of different versions of almost the same scale. We have the model kits that come in that 1/12 scale. We have the figure arts. We have the Black series. We have Reveltech. And I'm sure I think there is plans for Figmas. If I'm not mistaken, there's Mayfex, lot to choose from at this point. Even with something like the Avengers, the movie series, you have the figure arts ones, you have Figma, you have the Hasbro stuff, And the question that I want to present to you guys is, where do you draw the line? Which do you decide and commit to, and why? Boog?
Man, it's difficult, honestly. I feel like oftentimes I get caught out there because originally I was collecting all of the Figma Avengers, and they've had such a long lapse in between putting out. What was the last figure that they put out? Thor.
Or yeah,
Thor was the last
Thor.
figure they
And now
put out.
now it's gonna be Hulk.
Now it's gonna be
that they're
Hulk.
putting.
Almost what, like 2 years later? Like.
Yeah, pretty big gap. Pretty big.
First of all, that was from Avengers 1. Avengers 2 is out. We damn near almost to Captain America Civil War, and they just now putting out the Hulk from Avengers 1, which looks pretty good, but because it was such a long lapse, I had actually forgot about the Hulk, and I went and I sold my Figma Captain America and Thor. So now, I do have the Hulk on pre-order now because I still think it might be a pretty decent standalone figure, but I sold the Cap and Thor to go all in with figure arts because I figured figure arts would complete the set, and it's looking like they're going to complete the core team, but now the Widow is looking real sus. So it's like, it's hard, man. I at the end of the day, I collect what I think looks dope. Like, what I'm saying? First and foremost, if it looks dope, then I buy it, and if it's gonna complete a team or be able to get me closer to completing some display that I have in my mind, then I'll buy it. So like, price is not really a big issue with me. there's always ways around whatever you think might be the most expensive price. Especially if you're buying stuff, import stuff. There's always ways around it to get things cheaper. And if it's domestic, you can definitely get it cheaper. So it's just a way of bargaining. You can pretty much get whatever you want if you know how to bargain, if you know how to shop. Um, but I think I'm kind of straying away from the initial question. But with me, it's just what I like. Whatever I like, whatever catches my eye, whatever I think looks dope, then I buy it. It is what it is. I'm a collector. I'm not buying shit thinking about if it has resale value or this or that or nothing like that. I'm buying it because I think it looks dope. I appreciate the mechanics of it. I want to display it. I want to show it off to other people when they come to my house, and that's what it is. I buy what I like. So.
Well, for me, I'm not the biggest import guy. I've only got a couple. I'm impressed with them. I like them a lot, but I mean, for me, it's just kind of picking and choosing from what the best version of what each particular appearance of a character that I want. A lot of the Star Wars stuff, I haven't really been impressed with any of the Black Series stuff, particularly one of the most direct comparisons is probably the figure arts Luke from Jedi versus the Black Series one, and that is a night and day difference. I mean, if I was going to collect, really start up a Star Wars collection, I would definitely hop onto the figure arts just because they look like superior figures, and the likenesses are better, and as far as accessories and stuff, it all seems a lot better. And I think one of the biggest barriers to entry for me is just the price. It's hard for me to justify paying 40, 50, sometimes 60 plus on one figure. It doesn't matter how many different faces it comes with, and if it has googly eyes and you can change which direction it looks. Sometimes a 6-inch figure, I don't know, man. It's hard for me to pay that much money for it. Sometimes I'm going back and buying figures from the back catalog of stuff I'm collecting now, and it's hard for me to justify paying some inflated prices on that. So jumping onto imports, I think I paid the Figma Samus was like $35. I was like, I bit the bullet and I did it. I like the figure, but the price point is just so crazy for me. It's the biggest barrier to entry, I would say, that really keeps me from saying, okay, I'm going to start collecting Star Wars and I want it to be SH Figure Arts, because I feel like it just, the amount of money you drop on such an expensive line per figure, it's just fewer figures that I have to get of other lines that I like even more. So for me, I don't see myself jumping on to any of a lot of the import lines that are really popular now. I've said it before. I kind of enjoy looking at and enjoying them vicariously through other people and the photos that they put out. But I don't see myself jumping into a lot of these lines like Dragon Ball Z or I'm a fan of Naruto. I grew up with the anime, so I'd be interested in getting those. But at the same time, it's like, oh, those are so expensive now. I have my buddy bought one, I think for like $60, $65, and it's like, it's a little figure. I feel like I'm paying too much for that amount of plastic. Does that make sense? Like $20 a figure is kind of my price point. Sometimes more for deluxe and whatnot. And even then, you get so much fluctuation in the quality that certain companies give you versus others. Like at the $20 price point, for example, I went to my local comic shop to get the Hulkbuster wave, and they had the whole thing. They were selling it for $22.99 each. I'm sorry, $24.99 each, and it's comic prices or comic store prices, so it's a little inflated because it's a mom and pop situation. But $24.99 for Hulkbuster Legends. And I'm like, oh man, that's a lot of money. And they were selling the NECA Ultimate T800 for $21.99. And I'm like, if I only have like $25 to spend, what am I gonna get? Am I gonna get this figure? I mean, I already have it, but theoretically, if I didn't, would I get this one or this one? What's the value, for the cost of the plastic that I'm paying for here? And what has the most fun factor and replayability? And for me, NECA is just the company that is hitting that price point and giving you the accessories and the quality and the paint deco and what have you. That's just leaps and bounds above what other companies at the same price point are doing. So I feel most comfortable putting my money at that price point, whereas I feel like if I got something of a higher price point at the import level, like 40, 50, 60, I feel like I wouldn't, even though I'm getting all these accessories, I just feel like it's not worth it. It's still too much money for what you're really getting, and when you really think about it, it's just, a plastic figure.
Pharaoh?
So before I start, me and Fabio often we different opinions. And, I mean, he's welcome to his opinion. You know, he's A.C.B.A. I respect him. But I mean, as far as import, I personally, I'd rather collect an import figure than a domestic figure any day.
Mhm.
So I mean, even at the 40, okay, like you said, at the $40 price point versus the $21 NECA price point, for instance. Like I have him in this this pose right here. I mean, it's nothing special, but you will never get a NECA into this pose ever. You'll never get one into this pose. Actually, you probably would never get one to bend his leg back that far at all. It depends on what you really
Oh
want to do.
man, Fabio's taking up the challenge.
He can take up the challenge. He can bring a million next. There are very few that he can grab. Very few. I guarantee you, he couldn't grab 10 of them. I could grab 10 import figures and do it with all of them. I mean, you gotta realize, like you said, with the faces, accessories, even down to paint apps though. I don't have to heat these figures up to move them. It's just a lot of stuff that goes that extra mile with the imports. If they would do Marvel Legends or should I say Marvel characters and import, I wouldn't buy Legends. I wouldn't fuck with a Legend at all. I mean, it's just not worth it for me. But as far as different lines holding licenses, I'm glad of. I'm really happy that it's different companies holding these licenses or whatever because like he brought up the Luke Skywalker from Bandai, the figure arts. Great
Yeah,
figure. I think that the Darth Vader was a little small. So what I opted out to do is I bought the Mayfix, which
that
was a lot
Mayfix one is a great figure, by the way.
right, a lot taller, has a lot of articulation, various accessories, wire in the cape and everything. So I mean, when different companies hold the same license, there's a lot of options for you to, put together your collection, and where some might hit, others might miss, vice versa. So yeah, I mean, it's wonderful, but I just really don't understand. I kind of do understand what Fabio's saying with the $20 and the plastic or whatever, but I don't know. I mean, you get what you pay for. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So I mean,
But to that point, if I had,
go
I
ahead.
have, with these figures, I feel like I'm not getting all that much more than I'm getting from a domestic figure. I mean,
I'm serious.
um, excess. I'll give you articulation. A lot of those figures come from more animated licenses, like a video game license, like that Figma Snake you were just showing. That's a reasonable figure that needs a lot of articulation because the way it's animated in the video game is very animated. It's exaggerated. It's just like comic poses. So
Well,
I
well,
feel
let's use
it's
something
personal
that's
preference.
close to
I'm not
home.
definitely I'm not disagreeing. It's a personal preference thing. It really comes down to what company is making which kind of figures, hold the licenses that you like.
But they're not. See, okay, wait, okay. Like you brought up the situation with $25 for a Marvel Legend. Roughly, I don't know, Boog. He's probably paying something like $23 for a Marvel Legend out in New York. Here in Milwaukee, I'm paying like $19.99. But the point that I'm about to make is that I paid $20 for the Captain America from the Avengers line, the Build-A-Figure line or whatever. Then I paid 35 for the what's the joint? Not
Figure
Figma,
art.
Figure
Figure
Arts.
art.
Figure
And
arts
I
cap.
get the two figures. I'm like, I can put Captain America's shield on his back. I can relax the shield. I got throwing hands. I have catching hands, salute hands. I got punching hands. I got two different heads. I got movable eyes. I mean, when you start adding that on, and then you say, well, I only paid $15 more for this figure versus this figure. Then you bring up just the paint apps to the two figures. It's like,
Yeah.
come on, like really, I wasted $20 on this figure. That's why I felt instant. As soon as I got that figure, I'm like, why the fuck did I even buy this dumbass figure?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just not. I don't know. Like, it's just not comparable in a lot of situations, in my opinion. That's not taking anything from.
I think it goes back a lot to what I said earlier. Basically, some people are just used to the lower end figures, and I mean low end. I mean just particularly speaking of price point. And some people are willing to just say it's good enough for them. Like someone like myself, I mean, and obviously you, Pharaoh, and I guess also Rick and Boog. We generally want to have the best that's available. and we're willing to pay that extra price. I mean, to each individual, again, it matters. Some things weigh more to one than it does to another person. But speaking as far as myself, I just like to have the best that's available. And in the scale of comparison of something like the Marvel Legends movie Captain America versus the SH Figure Arts Age of Ultron Captain America, there is a huge difference in quality. I mean, not even just speaking paint apps and articulation and options, but even the casting of the plastic and stuff like that. There is a huge difference. But for some people, they may rather have two figures than just have the one figure. Maybe for them, two figures is worth not having all that high end, quality, but they would rather have lower end figures, but they're happy with the quality of the lower end figures. So maybe they would rather have two figures rather than spend the money. I mean, in some cases, Pharaoh was using the example that he paid $35 for Captain America, but a lot of sites actually are charging quite a bit more, like in the more $75 price if you don't know where to buy. And
that's usually when you didn't wait around for the figure. You wait around. You don't order the figure when they release it. You usually end up paying more than
yeah.
that.
And a lot of these figures, there's a pre-order window. So once they go up, they sell out. You kind of have to stalk these websites and wait for them to go back in stock. And then again, when they come out, there's also the gamble of sometimes they might be undersupplied, so then the price goes up even higher. But just retail price, retail price of a Captain America is around like $40-something without a Emiya discount or a Hobby Search discount or HLJ discount. If you were to compare it to a Marvel Legends, let's just say that the SH Figure Arts is more or less double the price. Some people may opt to just have two figures that are of lower quality, but they have two figures versus, someone might want to have the best available. So, I mean, it's all just perspective at the end of the day.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you.
When
It's getting
and you get
more for the money.
Pose that you've actually seen without having to have the leg all over here looking stupid and whatnot. I mean,
like I said, there's no denying the SH Figure Arts figure is better and pretty much in every way for the price. But like I said before, it's just some people, it's just hard for them to drop that kind of, especially when they're used to, spending a certain amount. Some people, it's hard to transition. You're basically, like I said, you're getting one figure instead of two figures that you would normally buy. So it's understandable. I mean, I generally opt for the more higher end stuff. That's just me. But I do have friends and stuff that they do, admittingly, they do like the, SH Figure Arts and stuff like that, but they would just rather have more figures, and they're happy with the ones that they get. So I guess, when you look at it from that point of view, you can't say they're wrong for doing so. It's just a different perspective,
All right, let's take some questions, man. We got 20 minutes, a little under 20 minutes. Let's see what's going on with some questions and
yeah, if you guys in the comments in the live feed, if you guys want to throw down some questions for us to answer, this is the time to throw them down.
Anything you want, it don't matter.
Anything we can discuss.
They are making a new symbiotic Spider-Man.
If you want to talk about Billy Harrington, you want to ask Emiya more about that.
Question, please.
Let us know.
Yeah, Hasbro is going to make a new symbiote. It's going to be that.
Yeah, they're making a new one.
It's going to be right? Whatever it's. Oh God, who's the builder?
It's the upcoming wave, right? It's an upcoming wave.
Yeah, they're gonna do a new Venom, and that's gonna be the what builder figure is that gonna be? Shit. Absorbing Man. Right.
That's what I'm thinking of. Absorbing Man.
Next question.
What is your favorite Batman figure?
Pharaoh, what's your favorite Batman figure?
That's a hard choice, man. I think that at the moment, pound for pound, it'd probably be one of the Arkham Knight Batman, only because of the full range of articulation. But I think that the icons really, really, really nice. I love that icons a lot. I love the sculpt and everything, but probably video game figures.
All right, my favorite Batman figure is the 1989
Oh
Michael,
God.
listen,
I mean,
listen.
I mean,
Don't doesn't matter what
right
you
here. I was just messing with it.
this
I mean, I can reach right here,
or
grab
articulate
you, man. But I'm just saying, like,
this figure articulates way better than Michael suit. So
you
you
say
can't
what?
say the articulate.
Say it again.
He's
I
cutting
said
out.
this figure articulates more than Michael Keaton himself in the suit. So you can't say it has bad articulation. It is. I mean,
He doesn't have bad articulation. I just don't think that it's the best Batman figure, though.
what? He didn't say the best. He said your favorite.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite one?
Whatever I like is the best.
So is that your favorite one, Fabio? The MECA 1989 Batman?
This is the Batman that I grew up with as the definitive Batman. I mean, besides the animated series, which I have sitting here as well, it's another good standout. As far as
So
like
that'd be
my
your number
favorite
two?
version
That
of
would be
Batman.
your number two, the animated one?
Yeah, as far as emotional attachment to the version, and that was the first Batman movie that I saw, and I was like, I love the gothic feel of it. To this day, it's still a good movie. It's not the greatest Batman movie, certainly, but it's not the most true to life interpretation of Batman. I mean, what's his face? Tim Burton was quoted as saying is like, I don't really like looking at the source material, whatever like that. And Kevin Smith is famous for retorting, well, that explains fucking Batman, because he kind of did his own thing. He kind of did aesthetic.
We got a couple more questions though. Let's not spend too much time on one question. Anybody get any Freddie Mercury figure? Anybody interested in that?
Well, I want it. I want it.
Man, I want that figure 100%.
If they did the suspenders version, for the SH Figure Arts suspenders version, I definitely would get that one.
I haven't got any of
I think the
the
version they
singers.
did
I didn't
is
even get
Freddie
Michael
Mercury.
Jackson, so I'm definitely not getting Freddie Mercury. But
Yeah, I don't really give a damn about Freddie
I
Mercury.
love Queen. I love Freddie Mercury. I don't care what version I'm buying it.
I can't take Freddie Mercury and put him on the shoulders of Darth Vader for a concert. That's gonna be sweet.
What else we got?
another question: do you guys know anything about the Play Imaginative Super Alloy Iron Man figures? That'd be Emiya's department.
I mean, they're not bad figures. I actually used to do the displays for the distributor of Play Imaginative in America, but Play Imaginative took too long to come out with some of these figures, and
Definitely.
they lost a lot of confidence in the consumer. They actually were recently bought out by a company from Abu Dhabi, and they are rebranded as Comic Cave. I honestly think the figures are not bad, in the sense that, they do have the die cast. They do have a decent amount of die cast. I think, okay, I've played with these figures probably quite often. I mean, I've messed with these figures. But honestly, I wouldn't buy them, only because I think the SHF and, other options available are better figures, at least speaking technologically, and, the engineering, and, the main thing, aside from the die cast, where I think is the main appeal, and the light up, the LED light up, the figures don't have a really strong range of articulation, and also they get loose very easily, and very, very hard to change the hands. I don't know if they fixed that in the production pieces, but all the ones I've ever messed with, it is a nightmare to change those hands.
Emiya, was that
but,
the
I mean,
Emiya, was that the Play Imaginative figures when I was with you at Comic Con
yeah,
and we
exactly.
was
Those are the
closing
ones.
up the
Yep,
booth?
those are the ones. Yep.
Yeah, same ones, right?
Yep, the same ones. I mean, they're not bad figures. It would have been great. I think the line would have a lot more. The stock on the line would be a lot higher had they actually, because we actually had prototypes for all the way Mark 1 to Mark 43. If they actually released a nice chunk of those, I think the stock on the line, because no one else is doing it. Besides Hot Toys, no one else is really doing tons of variations of the Iron Man armors.
That's
at
a
least
great
at that
place to
level.
put out the
So,
armor.
what happened?
I said that's a great place if you not wanted to wait for the figure arts. That's a great way to like fill out the armors as they come out.
Yeah, it's great because they're similar scale. They're similar scale for SH Figure Arts, so they would be great standard. Or if any, I don't think Bandai is ever going to do a lot of those other ones anyway. So.
All right, next question. Are any of you getting the True Force Mega Man X figure? I saw Shartimus Prime review it, and it looks like the figure of the year. I think a couple of us already got that figure. So Pharaoh and Emiya, y'all both have that figure.
I think the figure is a really dope figure. I mean, it's really nice. It's bigger than a lot of people thought it was going to be. So it's really like around 6¼ inch. But it's a really nice figure with the light up details and everything. I would recommend that if you're a Mega Man fan, that you probably would want to pick one of those up. So I'm really happy with it. That's, those are the ones that you got me, Bug, from out there in New York.
Right, right. Yeah, I saw them. I got to mess around with them a bit. I was very tempted to get them, even though I'm not a huge Mega Man fan. So I guess that should say something. I think they excellently made. I think they look great. I think they pose great. I think it's definitely a good investment if you're a Mega Man fan. No question about it.
I
Yeah.
think it is a great figure. Sentinel, the Sentinel staff, with that pretty much produced it for True Force. They did a really great job. It has a lot of the engineering, the things that make Sentinel stuff. I don't know. I want to say it's probably the figure of the year personally, just because I think there are a lot of other really great things that came out this year. But as far as Rockman figures go, it is definitely probably the Rockman, in my opinion, the Rockman figure to buy.
The only
Yeah,
the only Mega Man figure
I don't
I have is the
personally own
D-Arts
it.
one.
What did you say, Boo?
No, I said the only
Yeah,
Mega Man figure I have is the basic D-Arts one.
Yeah, the D-Arts one is great if you want it. If you like the classic design. I mean, this one is slightly redesigned to be more, to look more dynamic and look more detailed than your normal design. So, but it is a great figure. It is a great figure. I wouldn't say figure of the year, but it is a great figure. It is definitely, if you're a Rockman fan, it's a must buy. What are you about to say, Rick?
I was going to say, I don't have it. I do want it. I'll buy it eventually. It's a good figure.
Yeah, regular one's still available, and even the exclusive Kickstarter and NYCC Kai version are both available. But I mean, they go for premium, of course. But I mean, they are, in my opinion, they are still kind of affordable.
I think we got a good question here. First, shout out to Intimidation. Said, what's up, Bug? Been watching when it was only you, Shartimus Century, Luke Thug. Rest in peace to Luke Thug. Thanks for watching, brother. Appreciate it. And we got a question from Chris Serta, who's a customizer, asking what some of our favorite customizers are. Who want to start?
I'll say that I like Raybot, even though he hasn't been around for a while, but I
Yeah,
think
he hasn't been active.
right. But he was a great customizer. I like Jen. A lot of Jen work. Loose Collector. There's a lot of great customizers. Even Ja, man. I like the work that Ja's been putting in with the figures he's been doing or whatever. I mean, it's a lot of cats out here, man, that's doing their thing now.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good customizers out there. One guy that's been doing some really good Legends customs I've seen on Instagram. I think his name's Brandon, but he goes by B Customs, like Buzz B. He does some really good stuff. He did a good Ant-Man. Repainted the Walgreens exclusive one to look like the classic, so that looked really nice. One of my personal favorites too is Adrian Beltran. He's local to me here, but he's done some really good stuff. He did a couple customs for the art show we had back in like May or something. He did the customs for all of Henry's tournament entries. So the two of them are like a really good dio making and customizing team. So watch out for those two guys. But
yeah, I totally agree with you there on the Beltran brothers. They definitely got some good work. As a matter of fact, Adrian Beltran has sent me some custom Spider-Man webs that he did that are really good, and I just been kind of dragging my feet about opening them and showing them in my video and whatever. But I will in the next main course for sure. But yeah, both of those dudes are doing excellent work. And it's funny that you say that because customizing, we could still talk about like dial makers and stuff too. So, yeah, definitely the Beltran brothers. Pharaoh mentioned Raybot. I actually got an opportunity to meet Raybot a couple of years ago at San Diego Comic-Con. And it was funny. I'll tell you a quick story. Yeah, we got some time. Solid was actually introducing Raybot to Jesse Falcon over at Marvel. And Raybot was showing off some of his customs to Jesse Falcon. It was me, Jesse, Solid, and Jesse Falcon was blown away. And this was the first time that I actually got to see Raybot's customs in person. And yo, it's one thing to see somebody's stuff online, and you know a lot of these dudes sometimes they do stuff with like photoshopping and different things when they show off their customs and shit. But yo, like his work was quality work, like all around quality work. And it was funny. He had his shit in like a he had it in like a case, like it was like like it was diamonds or jewels or some shit. It was like a display case that he had, and he showed it to Jesse. And I guess I could talk about this now. I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble or whatever. Well, fuck it. But Jesse actually put him on to do some customs for a show that he was pitching um, to Adult Swim. I'm not sure what happened with it, if it's still going to happen or whatever the case may be. Maybe I'm fucking up saying something, but this was some years ago, and I know that Raybot and Solid worked on the customs for Jesse's show or whatever. I'm not sure if it's still in the works or what's happening, but Raybot's work was phenomenal. I like Loose Collector's stuff. I think his stuff looks really, really good. I like Chris's stuff, who asked the question. I like some of his stuff. I don't know. I don't know who else is out there, but definitely Raybot and Loose Collector come as some of the top people.
Don't forget, man. I think that as far as like on the Facebook page, Morgan's been doing his thing with his customs too, man.
Word.
He's pumping them out
Word.
he's pumping them out really fast, and he's learning really well as he goes along. You know.
Don't forget about Michael Wisman. I don't.
No
You know
doubt.
what?
Michael.
This is what Michael Wisman did. If I can show it off quickly, this
Michael,
thing was beat to shit, and this is Michael Wisman. Pretty much, he paint matched it. He painted everything. Like, I mean, it took him no time at all, man. Michael Wisman, he doesn't make customs often, but if you look at some of his shit on Instagram, and he does
that electro he did not too long ago.
Electro was awesome.
What's the name? Brought the electro.
He actually did a really great.
Al Chang bought his electro, if I'm not mistaken. Al Chang is a person who's I'm a huge fan of his A.C.B.A. work, and he definitely put Mike's customs to use. I was going to mention Mike too, and I'm glad that you mentioned John, Papa Sergio, who's doing really good work. It's a lot of cats that's kind of like, I guess you could say kind of like exclusive to us as A.C.B.A. people that we kind of know, but I don't think like the mainstream people know them. And I would say that John and Morgan and Mike are some of those people that are like coming up that are doing really, really nice work. So I'm glad you mentioned them. No question about it.
Everybody mentioned what I would. You know, the Loose Collectors, the Raybots, the Jins. Aaron Williams is really good. He's a good customizer. I like Chris, the guy that did the ask you the comment. Chris said that was really good. You know, obviously one of the bigger names, reviewer Anthony's Customs. He does good work. You know, people have their gripes with Anthony, but you know, good work.
Yeah, he does good work. I'll give him that. He does good custom work. I've heard that he's kind of overcharging on certain shit or whatever. But I mean, at the end of the day, I've always said that as an artist, you can charge whatever the fuck you want. At the end of the day, really, I'm not. You know, as an artist, you can charge whatever you want.
At the end of the day, people are paying his price. He pumps out these customs all the time. These people still know his name. They still watch his videos. So they complain about the price all they want, but they're buying it. So
let's not forget about our friends across the pond, Glenn and Craig.
Oh, man.
Craig hasn't really been active like that, but Craig work is fucking amazing.
Craig is a killer.
Amazing.
My God.
Oh my God.
Some of the most incredible work I've ever seen comes from Craig.
Did you Glenn's custom Groot, the huge one with the giant?
Yeah, that shit was hot. We got two more questions.
Actually, real quick, I just want to answer the Wyatt guy's question real quick. Definitely go for the Hot Toys.
Hot Toy. Oh yeah, okay, I see that. Would it be better to get the Hot Toys First Avenger Captain America or the NECA 18-inch Battle Damage Iron Man?
Yeah, the Hot Toys one. Hot Toys, definitely the way to go.
Yeah.
And then we got Martin. What is your favorite Marvel Legends figure of 2015? I'm gonna say real quick, one of my favorites, no questions. Pizza Spider-Man is amazing. We just did like 3 pictures in a row on Instagram with Pizza Spidey from different people. One picture was from Jan Says Meow. One was from KJ Bernard, and I forget who the last one was. I'm sorry, man, but Pizza Spidey was one of my favorite Marvel Legends of 2015. No question.
Fabio?
I've got to go with the Rhino because I never had any of the Select Rhinos or any of the old Toy Biz ones, so this is the first actual Rhino 6-inch figure that I've got, and I think they did a pretty good job with it. Not He's a little stockier than I would want. I wish he was a little bit taller and not quite as chody, wide, but I think he's a pretty good figure. He's got good balance, good articulation, and at least on mine, the articulation is pretty stiff. It does not really wobble too much.
Last question, y'all.
Oh,
What's A.C.B.'s expectations for 2016? We got a lot of things that we about to wrap up with right now in 2015. We got 3 new things that we're gonna launch. Something that is like really, really huge. That I think is gonna really. I don't know, man. I don't know if I can really speak on it, but we have 3 things that we launching right now before 2015 closes out, which will come in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But we had a very good year as far as merchandise is concerned in 2015. We did really, really well. For 2016, we got so many things planned for 2016. If you look at what we've done in 2015, that should give you an idea what we're gonna do in 2016. I'll give you some hints at least, but like we are absolutely going to follow in the footsteps of some people that did some big things in 2015, and it'll be catered towards A.C.B.A. and what we're doing. The cutouts are gonna continue, flight stands are gonna continue. We're gonna open up with some more effects and some more display pieces, sort of similar on the same vein as Tamashi with those effects. The tendrils are gonna continue. The headcasts are going to continue. Everything that we've been doing, we're just going to do bigger and better in 2016. I think we got an amazing team. Our admin staff is amazing. Our business savvy is amazing. I'm not just talking shit and trying to like boast or brag or anything like that, but like, yo, we the best doing it right now, no question about it. And yo, I gotta give a big thank you to every administrator, which are the people on this call right here. My girl Pep, David Walton, Billy Mahoney, every admin that we have. Like, again, we're just gonna do so many huge things in 2016. Everything is already pretty much mapped out and planned out. We're very meticulous with planning things and figuring out what we're gonna do. And 2 things that I could talk about in 2015 that we're gonna wrap up with is Fabio is spearheading a display project and his comic shop, which is coming up. Michael Wisman is doing something in his local comic shop. We just did a live podcast with my man Josh Cheney's podcast in his local comic shop. We're going to continue to do things in all of our admins' local comic shops and continue to expand on the brand and build the brand. We're just going to keep our foot on the throats of these other posers out here. We're just going to do what we do, man. So 2016 is going to be huge for us. There's no question about it. I no doubt about it. We're going to be at every Comic-Con. We're going to have press at every Comic-Con. We're going to have press at Toy Fair. We're already situated for Toy Fair, which is coming up in February. Myself, Pep, Pancho, his girl will be there reporting for A.C.B.A. in 2016. We are solidifying in our press for San Diego Comic-Con for 2016. We're definitely going to be at New York Comic-Con. There's no question about that. I don't know. Any more questions? You got one more question? What's that?
Shoot.
What are you guys' thoughts of the Star Wars Black Series as a whole?
I think that Star Wars Black Series, it fills a gap. 6-inch collectors have a Star Wars line that they can collect, and I mean, so that's great. But I think, in my opinion, the quality has gone down. I mean, they started off really strong, and now it's doing this with the figures. Some figures are nice, some figures are just,
The big indicative of that, if I could add, Pharaoh, is all the figures are losing their double jointed elbows. All the current figures, the newer ones coming out, all have single jointed elbows.
See,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get Hasbro. I don't get it. But I mean, I guess it's one of those things where they hook you in. Once they got you, they can start. It's somewhat like how they did with Marvel Universe. They had the Marvel Universe collectors. They start taking away the ab crunch. Then you took away the other articulation, like in the bicep swivels and stuff. So I mean, I don't know. That's just Hasbro's thing. But I mean, I don't really care for
Uh,
the
I think
line.
I just personally for me I use the line as a placeholder. Like I have the Phasma and a couple of other pieces from from the current Star Wars Episode 7 stuff, and I just use it as a placeholder until I get my figure art stuff. It's cheap for me, so I just it's readily available, and I'm sure that's what it is for everybody else. They're easy to get in the store. They're cheap. It's not a big deal. That's what you collect. That's what you collect. Not everyone can afford the SH figure art stuff, but for me, it's just a placeholder. I don't mind having it. They take away articulation. It's not a big of a deal to me because I don't give a damn, to be perfectly honest with you. They're just something I have fun with until what I consider is the best product is out.
No doubt. We was talking about that Phasma, and it's a nice figure for what it is. But I will say that copping the Phasma made me want to get more of the First Order Stormtroopers and kind of, just have the option to build that display too. So, for what they are, I think they fell off from when they first started putting them out. It looks like they was going in the right direction and they was gonna continue to get better like they did with Legends, and then they started taking away that double jointed elbow and the shit. Yo, that's a must with a figure that's holding a gun of any sort. Like, come on, you gotta know better than that shit. But
Yeah.
another thing, just talking
I
about 2016. Go ahead, Emiya, go ahead.
I think the line is good. A lot of Star Wars collectors, they have a thing where they pretty much want to collect. A lot of the guys I know, at least the 3¾ inch guys, they want to pretty much collect every character. They like to build entire, like, Jabba's palace scene, Tatooine scenes. They like Cantina scene. They like to have all the characters. Obviously, that would never be possible with a higher end line like SH Figure Arts. But it is possible with something like the Hasbro Black Series line. So I think it's good in that regard that you could actually have the possibility that you could get all your, Mon Mothmas and Skiff Guards and the dude that's behind the counter at the bar, shit like that. You can get all those figures. It's all possible with the Black Series. And then again, if you think that you feel that oh man, the SH Figure Arts version of of this Luke or this Darth Vader or that character, you like it more, and usually it's the more popular characters they do, you could go ahead and buy that one, and you can just kind of have them in the same display. I mean, for the most part, you can kind of fudge it a bit. So, but for all these like less common characters, like I don't think the SHF line will probably. I mean, it's not to say there's more chances of doing the entire, bounty hunters like Dengar and Bog. There's more chance of doing those characters than you'd ever see them do like Rancor Keeper or any of those guys. So definitely, I think there's definitely a place for it in the collectors community for sure.
Oh
No
yeah.
doubt. One other thing I want to mention too, in regards to the question about expectations for 2016. Yo, A.C.B.A. is bigger than just posing and pictures and stuff like that. I think that we've built a fraternity of sorts as far as the camaraderies and the relationships with people, and these dudes that's on this podcast right now, I speak to every day outside of the podcast. Like, what I'm saying? So we got a pretty good relationship outside of the podcast. We talk about other things aside from figures and collecting and real life shit. I was just with my man Emiya. He came out to New York for our boy Danny's birthday, and we got together and had dinner and drinks and stuff like that. So I think in 2016, that is going to get larger. I was just talking to my man Russell Fuller, who was out here this year on a world tour, on a United States tour, I guess you could say, and he got to meet a lot of people out here. And we right now talking about planning, myself and my girl going out to Australia to chill with him and his wife, and like, yo, that is going to continue to expand and get larger. And I think those relationships are a huge part of what A.C.B.A. is about as well. So in 2016, that's going to get deeper. The places that any one of us can go and rest our head and chill and be good in another country is going to expand, and I think that's huge as well. Like, our range right now is crazy. Any one of us can go to pretty much any continent right now and have a place to chill just based off of our love of collecting and the relationships that we built. So I think that's a huge thing. I think anybody that's involved with A.C.B.A. should take full advantage of that. Try to meet new people. Try to connect with new people. Everybody's not going to like everybody. Everybody's not going to get along. But if you have a few people that you click with, then build on that relationship and strengthen that and keep that going, man.
All right. With that said, I think it's about time to wrap it up. Don't you think?
No
Got
Yeah.
doubt. Walking
Yeah, we're
Dead
about
is
10
Walking
minutes
Dead is
over.
9 minutes in. We went for a longer time this week, but I think it was a good ep. So no doubt.
It goes for however long it needs to go.
No doubt. So until next week, man. It was good with chatting with you dudes. Thank everybody for tuning in. Thanks for the questions, and I know my man Billy will chop this up and put it into an MP3. So if you missed out, you'll still be able to hear this.
Thank you, everyone, for
All right,
tuning in.
y'all.
Yeah, see you all next week.
Peace.